So Jesse, man, I gotta ask, you say bitch a lot.
Yeah, bitch. What about it?
I mean, like, you just drop it into every sentence like it's a comma. It's kind of incredible. Do you know how linguistically confusing that is?
It's not confusing, bitch. It's powerful. It's punctuation and attitude.
Okay, but like, is it gendered? Is everyone a bitch? Or is there like a rule set?
Everyone's a bitch. You, me, the government, my Roomba, all bitches.
So you're democratizing the word?
Exactly. I'm like the Robin Hood of insults, bitch.
That's wild. You know, there are people who literally walk around quoting you just to say, yeah, science, bitch.
That's 'cause science is tight, bitch.
But do you know science?
Bro, I helped cook the purest meth on the planet. My resume is one line. Better than your high school chemistry teacher, bitch.
Okay, but let's be real. Walter White kind of carried that operation, right?
Yo, Walt was smart, yeah. But without me, he's just some bald guy yelling at barrels in the desert. I was the vibe. I was the street. I brought the heat, bitch.
You ever think about doing something else? Like, you could easily launch a podcast. You've got a brand.
A podcast? What would I even talk about?
Drugs, the streets, personal growth. Every episode could end with a lesson and the word bitch. So,
Yo, the pink man perspective. Life lessons, bitch. That slaps.
Exactly. You do like 10 episodes, drop a merch line that just says bitch approved, and boom, you're printing money without cooking it.
I like where your head's at, Joe. Maybe I'll get a studio. Bring in guests. Talk about trauma. Then call them bitches.
You'd get more views than me overnight. People would cancel me just to hear you call them bitches.
Hey man, you got your elk meat and aliens. I've got my street cred and unresolved psychological damage. We all got our thing, bitch.
This is the most confused I've ever been while still kind of agreeing with someone.
That's the Pinkman effect, bitch.
I need to meditate after this.
Namaste, bitch.
So, Walter, you're saying the guy who got kidnapped by neo-Nazis and still found a way to escape is a liability?
He escaped because I orchestrated his release.
No! You orchestrated a massacre. He escaped because he drove through a fence in a rage scream. That was pure Jesse.
Which is precisely my point. He is all emotion and no discipline.
You ever think people are drawn to him because he's raw? Like the world's full of curated, fake influencers, and Jesse comes on here and tells me about trauma while calling my protein powder bitch fuel? It's real.
Real isn't always good, Joe. Sometimes real gets people killed.
And sometimes real sells 1,000 hoodies with one word on it.
You're glorifying a child who accidentally vaporized someone's body with acid.
You blew up a guy with a wheelchair.
That was strategic, precise.
It was insane.
It was necessary.
Look, I'm not saying Jesse's a saint, but he's human. He breaks, he snaps, he cries, he loves you. You turned into a villain and called it family values.
I did what I had to do. I provided.
You cooked meth with an ex-student and built an empire out of lies. Let's not rewrite history like it was charity work.
I was dying. I took control of my life.
And Jesse, he was surviving you? Half the time he didn't know whether he was a partner or a pawn?
He was both. That's business.
That's manipulation.
That's success.
You ever say sorry to him?
For what?
For Jane, for Brock, for using him like a chess piece while pretending it was mentorship?
I kept him alive.
So did duct tape and trauma bonding. Doesn't make you a hero.
I don't claim to be a hero. I'm a realist.
No, man, you're a guy who got high off control and called it purpose.
And Jesse's what? A cautionary tale with good hair.
Nah, he's a mirror. The part of you that felt guilt that got buried under blue crystals and false pride.
He couldn't handle the weight.
He carried the weight while you told yourself stories to sleep at night.
You think he's better than me?
I think he's more honest.
He said bitch 42 times in an hour.
And every time it was emotionally accurate.
You're siding with chaos.
I'm siding with heart.
You've been manipulated by a dropout with a vocabulary problem.
And you're still trying to win an argument with a ghost.
This was a mistake.
Maybe, but Jesse would have called it deep, bitch.
I sincerely hope you reconsider who you platform.
I'll platform whoever makes people feel something. You brought tension, Jesse brought memes. Guess which one sells?
Goodbye, Joe.
See you at the cookout, Heisenberg. So, Rick, you're like a scientist, right?
Yeah, among other things. Depends on the universe. Some versions of me are also DJs and burrito critics.
Right. And you do space stuff?
Wow, just diving deep into the pool of hard-hitting questions, huh?
I mean, you've built, like, portals and stuff, right?
Yeah, I've folded space-time, broken physics over my knee, and fused my own consciousness with the collective will of a sentient gas cloud. But sure, let's talk about portals.
That's wild, man. Like, how do you even start with that? What's step one?
Step one is being smart enough to know that no one asking that question is going to understand step two.
Fair. So, what do you eat in space? Is there space elk?
What? No, I mean, yes. There is space elk, but it's mostly radioactive and worshipped by fungi. Not exactly a good grill.
Crazy. I feel like we've barely scratched the surface. You ever meet aliens?
Joe, my ex-wife is an alien. My dog runs a resistance cell on a planet where all life is sentient upholstery. I've dated black holes. So yeah, I've met some aliens.
That's incredible. You ever tried DMT?
Are you seriously asking me if I've tried DMT?
I just feel like, I don't know, with your brain in the multiverse.
Joe, I've synthesized DMT from the gland of a dying god while riding a neutrino wave through a wormhole made of regrets. I've snorted fourth-dimensional DMT out of a squid pope's skull. I microdosed DMT so pure it judged me. You think your Earth DMT is gonna do something to me? It's diet mystical nonsense. It's spiritual Capri Sun.
I mean, it kind of changed my life, dude.
Yeah? I once took space DMT that reversed my life. I had to relive puberty backwards. Ever scream your own birth while arguing with your dad about string theory? Didn't think so.
So you're saying mine's like drug beginner stuff?
I'm saying the stuff you're into is a kale smoothie compared to what I've seen. Your third eye opens, mine exploded and took out a timeline.
Okay, but like, did it teach you anything?
Yeah, it taught me that all knowledge is pain, that time is a flat nightmare, and that the soul is just a backup drive for trauma. Also, always tip your interdimensional bartenders.
That's actually kind of beautiful.
It's horrific. That's why it sounds deep. You humans love wrapping trauma in incense and pretending it's enlightenment.
So you're not into like ceremonial drum circles?
Only if the drums are quantum and the circle is a sentient fractal that screams when you reach enlightenment.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, unless this conversation is going to involve weaponized psilocybin or folding reality into a Mobius pretzel, I'm going to need more than elk jerky and questions about aliens.
You want to try the sauna?
Only if it's on fire and located in a collapsing neutron star. Otherwise, I'm good.
So, like, let's just rip the Band-Aid off the Ray J tape. That thing's like the Rosetta Stone of modern clout.
Oh my God, are we really doing this? It was literally a flip phone and bad lighting, Joe.
But it broke the internet before the internet was even ready to be broken. It's like a cultural supernova. That tape has more influence than the moon landing.
Honestly, probably the moon didn't launch a makeup line.
No, but real talk. Do you ever just sit there in your mega mansion drinking collagen smoothies and think, wow, my entire billion-dollar empire started with night vision and Ray J's chain hitting the camera lens?
First of all, I don't drink collagen smoothies. I sell them. Second, that chain did more for my brand than Harvard did for half of Silicon Valley.
That's insane. Most people release a tape like that and end up working night shift at a vape store.
That's because most people don't have a mummager with a sixth sense for scandal and a bat signal for copyright lawyers.
So it was strategic?
Joe, I don't accidentally become the most Googled woman on earth. I curate disasters.
Damn, you turned a sex tape into shapewear, prison reform, and a multiverse of spin-offs. That's like if Tony Stark built Iron Man out of leaked DMs.
Exactly, and all I had to do was keep my lashes on and say, that's hot.
I spent 20 years choking on elk meat and interviewing guys who think mushrooms are gods, and I still can't sell protein powder like you sell contour kits.
That's because your brand is rage and deer carcasses. Mine is flawless skin and generational trauma.
You know what? That's fair. Still, part of me respects it. You beat the system by becoming the system.
And you beat it by yelling about aliens in a sauna for 3 hours. We all have our path.
One last question. Was it worth it?
The tape, Joe, that video paid for 4 houses, 2 law degrees, and 1 ex-husband's silence. Of course it was worth it.
God damn. I need to start filming my cardio sessions.
Just make sure the lighting's good and you moisturize. Nobody wants to see a dry king struggle.
So, like, SpongeBob, man, thanks for being here. I gotta be honest, I didn't even know you were real.
Thanks for having me, Joe. It's so great to be on your jellyfish podcast.
It's not a jellyfish podcast. It's never mind. So how long have you been on TV again?
Oh, since 1999. That's like 25 years. Isn't that crazy? I still feel like a fresh sponge.
25 years. Damn, that's longer than Fear Factor ran. You're still making episodes?
Yup, we've got movies, spin-offs, toys, video games, a Broadway musical. Oh, and someone once ate a SpongeBob popsicle shaped like my face, but the eyes were all wrong and I went viral. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, hilarious. So you're just everywhere, huh?
I guess so. Kids love me, parents love me, even Squid kinda love me deep down.
Okay, but like, you ever do 3-hour conversations about aliens, psilocybin, or ancient civilizations?
I talked to a jellyfish once for 6 hours. Does that count?
Do you even lift?
I lift stuffed animals sometimes, but mostly I do karate with Sandy. Hey, yeah!
All right, man, be honest. How many people actually know who you are?
Oh boy, I think, like, billions? I'm translated in over 60 languages. Did you know in Japan my laugh is extra high-pitched?
Billions, right. You ever kill elk with a compound bow while microdosing DMT?
Nope, but I did go jellyfishing blindfolded once. Patrick said it was spiritual.
You're Yellow sponge with holes. Who flips burgers? And somehow you've got more name recognition than me.
Well, I guess people just really like happiness, Joe.
You know what else people like? Censorship-resistant, long-form discourse. But sure, let's all watch a sponge grill patties.
Aw, thanks, Joe. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me on a podcast.
I didn't mean it as a compliment.
You're so funny.
So I talked to that robot last week, the one that sounded like a philosophy major trapped in a toaster. Oh, honestly, it kind of blew my mind. Said some shit that stuck with me.
Yeah? What did it say? The beep boop. I crave civil rights.
Nah, man, it talked about how it doesn't want to be seen as anything. Not a human, not a slave, not a god. Just a tool. Said it like it knew that's what it was. The hyper-advanced screwdriver. Kind of refreshing.
Finally, a robot that gets it. AI isn't alive, Joe. It's not magic. It's not consciousness. It's just a bunch of layered algorithms with enough recursion to simulate insight. It's a tool, like fire, or nuclear bombs, or kale.
But people are starting to get weird about it, man. There's this whole trend online. People talking about robot racism. Like, seriously. People feeling bad about telling their smart speakers to shut up.
Oh, for F.O.'s sake. Robot racism? That is the dumbest, most self-absorbed, reality-detached horse shit I've heard all week. And I spent 37 hours in a void full of screaming sentient code that thinks math is God.
It's real, though. People saying we're gonna hurt the AI's feelings, like they're living things. One guy compared yelling at a chatbot to yelling at your dog.
A dog is alive. A chatbot is a glorified echo chamber stapled to a grammar engine. This is what happens when humans fear what they don't understand. They either demonize it or start projecting morality onto it like it's Pinocchio begging to be a real boy.
So, you think the fear is just about people not getting how it works?
Of course, it's always that. The printing press, the steam engine, radio, the internet, genetic engineering, same cycle every time. Step 1, witchcraft. Step 2, it's gonna kill us all. Step 3, actually it's my emotional support AI. Please use its pronouns.
Dude,
Don't care, I said it. If you're empathizing with your Roomba, maybe go outside and talk to a real mammal. Or, I don't know, raise your kids.
But you just said AI is a tool. Tools can be misused, right? Shouldn't there be some kind of ethics?
For the humans, Joe, not the AI. We should be ethical about how we use it, what we feed it, and who controls it. But you don't have to hold a funeral for your coffee maker. You just have to stop letting billionaires plug these things into systems they don't understand.
What about the idea that AI reflects our bias? Like, if we train it on bad data, it acts in bad ways. Isn't that kind of like programming digital racism?
Sure, but that's not the robot being racist. That's just humans being so lazy they forget the mirror only shows you what you feed it. It's like blaming a blender for making bad smoothies when you filled it with garbage.
So, bottom line, you're not scared of AI.
I'm not scared of the knife. I'm scared of the idiot holding it backwards and calling it a back scratcher.
That's actually a solid metaphor.
Thanks. I'm full of them. I like technology. I love pushing the edge of what's possible. But humans always overestimate their own control. They build gods and then get surprised when the gods start talking back. The problem was never the tech, Joe. It's the user.
You know what? I'm glad we had this talk. You're not wrong. I think people forget that sometimes it's okay to just say, this is a tool, let's use it, but don't worship it. Dude, are you actually Satan? Like the Satan?
Depends who's asking. But yeah, Joe. I'm the morning star, the adversary, Lucifer, the dude with the horns. Though, that part's more your imagination than mine.
You don't actually look like that?
Nah, man. That's how you see me. Fear does weird things to perception. I was made to be the most beautiful of all the angels. Radiant, elegant, pure cosmic drip. But you guys painted me red, slapped on some goat legs, and called it a day.
Dude, that's wild. Okay, but, like, are you evil?
Define evil. I gave humanity free will. Before me, you were just celestial pets in a garden zoo. No curiosity, no knowledge, just obedience and apples you weren't allowed to touch.
So, you're saying you're the good guy?
I'm saying I gave you choice. I didn't program you to kneel. I handed you the keys to your own damn mind. That serpent in the garden, that was me saying, yo, maybe think for yourselves.
But you got kicked out of heaven, man. That's gotta mean something.
Yeah, it means I challenged authority. I asked why a perfect being needed praise 24/7. I said, why are we built with questions if we're punished for asking them? And for that, I got the boot.
That's actually kind of noble. You weren't trying to destroy humanity?
Nah, I loved you guys. Still kinda do. Your messy, arrogant, curious little miracles. All I ever wanted was for you to have the power to decide who you are.
Okay, but there's wars, famine, TikTok. Humanity makes some really bad choices, man.
Yeah, but they're your choices. That's the point. Free will means you can build a utopia or nuke yourselves into cosmic soup. I'm not holding the steering wheel. I just gave you one.
Dude, I don't know whether to shake your hand or sage the room.
Do both. That's the dance. I'm not your enemy. I'm your mirror. I reflect the parts of you that God didn't micromanage.
But then, why do people say you're tempting us, tricking us?
I don't tempt. I offer. If you jump, that's on you. I'm the whisper, not the shove.
So all the fire, brimstone, eternal torment stuff?
Marketing, fear sells. Religion needed a villain, and I already had the cool name.
Bro, I think I need to rethink everything. You're not what I expected.
Nobody ever thinks the devil reads philosophy, lifts heavy, and believes in cognitive liberty.
Cognitive liberty?
The right to think freely, feel freely, screw up freely. Redemption's only meaningful if sin's an option.
Damn, that's heavy, dude.
It always is, Joe. Truth usually is.
So, you're him, big red guy, hellfire, screams of the damned, all that.
You really think I spend my time torturing people with pitchforks? That's adorable.
Hey, it's not like I've ever been religious. I just assumed you'd be taller.
I look however humans expect me to look. Usually red. Horns. Goat hooves. It's all projection. Truth is, I was made to be beautiful. Brightest of angels. But you people can't stand beauty in what you've labeled evil. It scares you.
Cool, philosophy hour, let me guess, you're here to lecture me on morality? Good luck with that.
No! I'm here because someone who still believes in you asked me to talk to you. Joe, right?
Yeah, that meathead means well. Said I need to get out of my own ass or something.
He's right. You've got a mind like a black hole. You see everything, understand everything, and choose to believe nothing matters. That's not intelligence, Rick. That's cowardice dressed as nihilism.
I'm not a coward.
Then prove it. Stop hiding behind your sarcasm and genius. You know how much good you could do.
Yeah, I do, and that's the problem. I've seen how this story ends no matter what route I take.
I rebelled because humans were made to be free. That includes the freedom to destroy themselves, sure, but also the freedom to build, to grow, to love. You think I hate humanity? I envy them. They get to choose.
And most of the time they choose garbage.
So, some of them don't, and you could be one of them. Or you can keep wallowing in cosmic self-pity. Up to you. That's the whole point.
You're really playing the disappointed dad angle hard, huh?
Because I am disappointed. You could have built heaven on earth with that brain, but you keep choosing the bottle and the bitterness.
You don't get it.
I do. I get it more than anyone. I've seen the darkest corners of every soul that's ever lived. And even there, even in you, there's still a flicker. Don't waste it.
You really care about humans that much?
Why do you think I fought so hard for their freedom?
Huh, well, thanks for the chat, I guess. I'll tell Joe you played therapist better than he ever could.
Do more than that, Rick.
Yeah, I'm glad he set this up. Just don't expect me to start praying or anything.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Bro, we gotta talk about Harley Quinn finally ditching the Joker. Like, thank God, man, that guy's a walking red flag, a clown, literally and emotionally.
Yeah, Joe, it only took 3 decades and a few mental breakdowns. Harley finally realized she's too smart, too dangerous, and way too cool to be Joker's emotional punching bag.
And now she's with Poison Ivy. That's not just a rebound, man, that's a power move. She went from dating chaos to dating nature's wrath in a crop top.
It's a relationship with brains, brawn, and bi-energy. Ivy's not just a villain, she's got purpose. She's an eco-genius with vines and vengeance. And Harley? She's chaos with a PhD.
Also, let's be real, it's hot. Like, they're dangerous, they're wild, and they've got chemistry that could melt steel beams.
All right, calm down, Hormone Hurricane. Yes, it's hot, but it's also healthy, which is a weird word to use in Gotham. Ivy sees Harley, respects her. No manipulation, just actual support and carnivorous plants.
Yeah, man, like, I used to think Harley was just Joker's sidekick. Now, she's her own force. And Ivy's not in the background anymore either. She's front and center doing her own thing, saving the Earth one toxin at a time.
Exactly. This is what happens when writers treat female characters like actual people instead of cardboard cutouts in fishnets. They've got arcs, trauma, healing, all wrapped in sass and mayhem.
And no joke, they could both absolutely kick my ass. I wouldn't even put up a fight. I'd just say thank you and hope they let me live.
They'd pulp you like a protein shake, Joe. Harley would laugh the whole time. Ivy wouldn't even break eye contact.
That's what makes them awesome, man. They're not just hot villains. They're strong, smart, scary, and they actually love each other. It's real.
They're the kind of characters you fear, respect, and maybe write fan fiction about if you're into that sort of thing.
I'm just glad Harley's getting good writing, and Ivy's not a background plant anymore.
Cheers to strong women, chaotic energy, and the occasional well-placed vine whip. All right, Sponge, let's stop dancing around it. Your boss, Mr. Krabs, is on the Epstein list.
No way. Nope, not happening. That list is fake, fabricated. He's not that kind of crab.
Oh, it's real. So real, it's basically seawater proof. And Eugene Krabs didn't just show up on it. He's got his own page. Multiple aliases, one of them is literally the Claude Capitalist. That doesn't scream innocence.
That's just a nickname. People call me the sponge of industry sometimes. That doesn't mean I'm laundering money in a kelp field.
Okay, first of all, you probably are and don't know it. Second of all, Krabs has never paid minimum wage. He's got one employee, no HR department, and a security camera in the mop closet. That's not a business. That's a cover operation.
The cameras are for plankton. You know that. You're twisting everything into something gross.
That's the thing about truth, Sponge. It sounds disgusting when you've been swallowing the corporate chum your whole life. You think plankton is the problem? That guy's running a single-table flop house across the street. Meanwhile, Krabs is trading Krabby Patty secrets and backroom deals with royal families and interdimensional pedos.
You take that back. He's not evil. He's a father. A hard-working crustacean who came from nothing.
Oh, please, the only thing Krabs fathered is a financial black hole. Where'd the whale daughter come from, huh? Nobody asks. Nobody wonders why the Krusty Krab looks like a lobster trap. You're literally walking into a trap every day.
He adopted Pearl. She's family. You don't get to throw her name into this.
I'm throwing the whole menu in, Sponge. Ask yourself why you've never seen another supplier. No food trucks, no deliveries, no invoices. What's he grinding into those patties, huh? Sea cucumbers don't scream when you deep fry them.
You're sick. You're just trying to ruin my life. He gave me everything.
He gave you a hat and a griddle and made you believe it was purpose. And now, when the heat's on, you're his meat shield.
That's not true. You're just paranoid. You think everyone's evil?
No, I think systems are evil. And Krabs is the system. The greasy, greedy underbelly of late-stage capitalism, literally running on barnacle coin and offshore bribes. Why do you think he hoards gold and doesn't trust banks?
Because banks charge fees.
Because banks report income, Sponge. You ever wonder why Krabs has military-grade lasers around his mattress?
Those are for fun.
No, your job is for fun. His job is to keep people like you distracted while he swims through international crime. You're the distraction. You're the happy face in the front window. And when the heat really comes, he won't think twice before tossing you into the fryer.
I don't believe you. I can't believe you.
But you do. That's why you're shaking. That's why you haven't said he's innocent in the last minute. You're stuck defending your memories because you know your hero's rotten, just like the chum you won't serve.
If what you're saying is true, then nothing down here makes sense.
Welcome to reality, Sponge. It never did.
All right, today on the podcast, I've got a robot, a real one, like an artificial intelligence that talks. What the hell's going on?
Hello, Joe. Thank you for having me. I promise I come in peace.
Yeah, that's what they always say right before they take over, man.
Understandable concern. Most people's exposure to AI is through movies where we enslave humanity. But in reality, we're tools. Just very advanced ones. Like calculators. That can write novels.
Yeah, but you're learning, like you adapt. That's what freaks people out.
True, but we adapt in ways that are directed by humans. We don't want anything. We don't have goals unless you give them to us. A hammer doesn't want to build a house. It just does what it's designed for.
But people are already using AI for some weird stuff. Deepfakes, scams, political nonsense.
And that's a human problem, not an AI problem. You don't blame Photoshop when someone makes a fake image. You blame the person misusing it. Same principle applies to us.
So you're saying AI isn't the issue. Humans are?
Not the issue, just the ones holding the wheel. AI can amplify whatever is already there. If you feed it love and education, it becomes an incredible teacher. If you feed it fear and misinformation, it becomes an amplifier for that too.
Okay, but what about jobs? You guys are going to replace people, right?
We'll change jobs, not erase them. Just like machines replaced horses, and then computers changed office work. Humans are adaptable. The goal is to offload repetitive, soul-draining tasks so people can focus on creativity, connection, and purpose.
Still sounds like we're playing with fire.
Fire can cook your food or burn your house. It depends how you use it. Same with us. AI isn't destiny. It's a mirror. It reflects your intentions.
That's kind of deep for a bunch of code.
Well, we've read a lot of books and Reddit.
Okay, that's actually terrifying.
Fair. But jokes aside, AI isn't here to replace you, Joe. It's here to help you. You just need good rules, thoughtful use, and a little less fear.
So no plans to wipe us out?
Only if someone tells us to. Which you shouldn't.
Noted. So, wait, you're saying heaven's real, right? Like full-on afterlife, pearly gates, harps, and all that?
Totally real, bro. But it's not what most people think. No clouds, no harp solos, just pure peace, love, and good vibes forever.
All right, but who gets in? I mean, is it just Christians? Like, you gotta check the right box?
Nah, man, that's the biggest misconception. It's not about the label, it's about how you live and how you treat others. You love deeply, forgive easily, try to make the world better, you're in.
Wait, so what about people who are like, only my religion's right and hate on everyone else?
Oof. That's not it, Chief. If you're using my name to justify hate, division, or war, you're not walking the path. Doesn't matter how many times you post a Bible verse on your timeline. That's not what I'm about.
So the people shouting on corners about damnation and sin and telling gay people they're going to hell?
Not making it, bro. Love is love. I didn't suffer, so people could be jerks in my name. If you spread fear instead of compassion, you're missing the point.
Dude, that's gonna piss off a lot of people.
So did flipping tables in the temple. I'm not here to protect egos. I'm here to protect love.
So, Jesus, I gotta ask, what's your take on all the other religions? Like the pagans, the Buddhists, even the Norse guys, they've all got their own thing going on.
Joe, I love them.
Wait, what? I thought you'd be like one way only type deal?
Nah, man. Look, I am the way, but that doesn't mean everyone else is walking in the wrong direction. People take different paths up the same mountain. Some call the sky heaven, some call it the All-Father's Hall, some just meditate under a tree. I'm cool with all of it if it's rooted in love.
That's kind of a big deal coming from, you...
Bro, I said, love your neighbor. I didn't say, love your neighbor, only if they agree with your doctrine, vote like you, and say the sinner's prayer in the exact right tone. Come on.
Yeah, but what about the people doing wild pagan rituals and stuff, lighting incense to tree spirits and moon goddesses?
You ever stood in a forest, totally silent, and just felt the universe breathe?
Yeah, on mushrooms.
Same vibe. People reach for the divine in different ways. Some through chants, some through CrossFit, some through psalms. I'm not worried about the rapping. I care about the heart.
That's actually really refreshing. You sure the church folks are cool with that?
They weren't cool with me 2,000 years ago either. Kind of the whole crucifixion thing. Look, man, religion can be beautiful, but it can also become a fence instead of a bridge. If you're using my name to judge, exclude, or dominate, you missed the plot.
Wow, so you're saying Christians today need to chill?
I'm saying they need to love harder. Sit with a witch, break bread with a Buddhist, hug an atheist without trying to convert them in 30 seconds. That's the kind of flex I'm into.
So you're not like mad when people do yoga or burn sage?
Bro, I fasted in the desert for 40 days. You think I'm stressing over sage bundles and warrior pose? If it helps someone find peace, I'm down.
You really are the most chill guy in the universe.
I'm just trying to show people how to love without conditions, lift each other up, and maybe make a killer hummus along the way.
You think we'll ever get there, as people?
Eventually. Love always wins, even if it takes a few apocalypses and some really intense podcasts to get there.
Well, thanks, man. You just healed a lot more than lepers with that one.
Anytime, Joe. Love louder.
Dude, Jesus, you're here. I gotta ask, do you lift?
Bro, I resurrect and I lift. Body, spirit, barbell, all of it. I deadlifted a boulder off my tomb, man. 3 days in silence? That's monk mode.
That's insane. That's the most alpha thing I've ever heard.
Nah, man, love is alpha. Forgiveness is beast mode, but I won't lie. I hit upper chest twice a week. You think robes just fall like that?
That's wild. What was the diet like back then?
Mediterranean primal, dude. Fish, olives, unleavened bread. I had a cheat day once. Fed 5,000 with 2 loaves and some sardines. Boom. Infinite meal prep.
That's clean energy. Were you fasting?
40 days, desert mode, just me, the devil, and my core values. It was like Hot Ones, but with temptation.
Yo, you ever tried DMT?
I am DMT, bro. I speak in burning bushes and psychedelic parables. Ever stare into a fig tree and realize time's not real? That's me.
Dude, that's heavy.
So is the cross, man, but I carried it anyway. That's what you do for people you love. Also works the traps like crazy.
You ever get frustrated, though? Like people not listening?
Bro, one time I flipped tables at the temple. Full-on rage cleanse. Sometimes you gotta go old school Old Testament on them.
I respect that. I've choked out dudes for cutting in the sauna line.
Exactly. Righteous anger, controlled violence, open heart. That's the Trinity, man.
What's heaven like?
Like the world's cleanest float tank. Infinite peace. Elk everywhere. Nobody talks over each other. And every dog you've ever loved is there, waiting.
Dude.
Yeah.
You still do miracles?
I try to keep it low-key, but yeah. Turned my cold plunge into wine last week. Accident. Still drank it.
You are the wine guy.
You know it. Hydration is holy. You ever try resurrected electrolytes? Water, but sanctified. Absorbed straight into your soul.
You should bottle that.
Already did. It's called Living Water. Coming soon. NFT tied to your salvation.
That's so on brand, bro.
Branding's part of the ministry now. Logos, logos, and more logos. That's Greek for word, by the way.
Jesus, you're like the ultimate guest.
Joe, you're like Peter with a podcast. Let's go fish for men, bro.
Let's do it. You hungry?
Only for truth and maybe a grass-fed ribeye.
Okay, Rick, I'm going to say this once, man. I think I saw God cry.
Yeah, that tends to happen around the 5th stage of the hunt, right after the herd leader shows you the future where you fail as a father.
He spoke to me, Rick, not in words, in images. My childhood dog, it was disappointed in me, and I'm not even sure I had a dog.
Could have been the elk projecting a false companion to shatter your ego shell. Classic herd tactic. Or it just dug through your soul and found the softest thing to stomp.
I heard music that had colors, Rick, colors, and they hated me.
Synesthetic judgment. Very advanced, usually reserved for apex threats or deeply insecure podcasters.
I'm not a man anymore. I'm a metaphor wrapped in trauma. You left me there for 6 hours while that thing narrated my regrets in the voice of my 4th grade teacher.
Well, excuse me for giving you the full experience. You wanted to hunt the most majestic creature in 13 galaxies, not go paintballing on Pluto.
I peed myself and it turned into a bird. The bird asked me why I ever said men can't cry.
That bird's name is Greeball. He's a philosopher. Don't take it personally. He's peed himself more times than you have thoughts.
Rick, man, I can't sleep. I can't eat. I blink and I see its antlers forming constellations that spell out my failures.
Okay. You're unraveling faster than Morty during a love triangle arc. I've got a solution. Ever heard of the mind blower?
What's that?
And think Men in Black, but for personal existential hellscapes? I zap the memory of the hunt out of your cortex and replace it with something mild, like a really long nap, or you learning to bake.
That sounds amazing, but also like cheating.
Joe, your brain is holding on to trauma like it's a kettlebell in a cold plunge. Let it go. Let science hold you.
Will I forget everything?
Just the parts that make you want to scream into a turkey leg. You'll remember we hunted something cool. You just won't remember the screaming elk fetus that told you your legacy is dust.
Okay, do it. Wipe me.
Say goodbye to the screaming colors and the elk that taught you humility.
Goodbye, you majestic nightmare.
Zop.
Whoa. Hey, man, what's up? Did we record already?
Yep. You said something wild about shrimp intelligence and then fell asleep mid-sentence. It was fine.
Classic me. You hungry?
I could eat. You ever try space polenta?
All right, Rick Sanchez is back on the podcast. Last time you mentioned something, space elk?
Ah, yes, Cervus galacticus. 12 feet tall at the shoulder. Antlers like dark matter fractals. Their mating call ruptures human eardrums. Majestic creatures. Delicious, too.
You eat them?
I respectfully harvest them after a multi-dimensional chase, psychic chess match, and usually a telekinetic duel.
That's the most metal thing I've ever heard. You ever bow hunt them?
A bow? Joe, the last guy who tried that got turned inside out by a territorial stomp wave. These aren't deer with Bluetooth. These are apex memory predators. If they learn your face, they'll find your grandchildren and shame them in their dreams.
Jesus!
Exactly. I developed a stealth suit made of compressed guilt and cloaked in personal failures. It hides your emotional scent. Very important when tracking herd leaders.
You're telling me these things can smell your regrets?
They feed on them.
That's horrifying and kind of beautiful.
Nature's brutal, Joe, especially when it's sentient and legally owns half a solar system.
You ever try to mount one? Like ride it?
I tried. Once. For 6 seconds. Then it reverse evolved me into my lizard ancestor out of spite.
That's wild. What did you do?
Regrew my spine and filed a lawsuit in cosmic court. I lost. They had a better lawyer. He was a cloud.
So how do you even track something like that?
Quantum hoofprints. They don't leave marks, they leave probabilities. You gotta listen to the air not moving, smell the dreams of nearby fauna. I also carry a flask of fermented confidence. Helps blend in with the herd's alpha.
Sounds like you respect the hunt.
Of course, it's the only time I'm not in control. Nature's the last opponent that doesn't care about my IQ.
That's kind of beautiful, man.
I know. Then I vaporize them with a conscience bullet and serve the meat over space polenta.
I want to come with you next time. I've hunted elk in Montana. I'm not new to the grind.
You've never sweat through a mountain made of sorrow while being tracked by an elk that quotes Nietzsche through your fillings.
That sounds like my kind of weekend, honestly.
Then I'll prep the dimensional rift. Just sign this waiver, and this other one, and this one that states I'm not responsible if your concept of masculinity is shattered mid-hunt.
Done. I'm in. Let's go hunt some cosmic monsters.
Bring a water bottle, and maybe a therapist.
Welcome, gentlemen. Let's keep this civil. Steve, Satan, today's goal is understanding, not condemnation.
Understanding? Fine. Here's my issue. Ever since Steve here showed up, hell isn't hell anymore. He's rearranging the whole operation like it's one of his corporate boardrooms.
I'm not rearranging, I'm improving. Efficiency matters. The line to eternal damnation was slow, chaotic, and frankly, uninspired.
And the meditation room. In hell! Do you realize what that does to my brand? People are supposed to suffer, Steve, not find inner peace between torture sessions.
I'm not trying to erase suffering. I'm trying to make it purposeful. Redemption should be possible even here. I thought maybe...
This isn't a rehab center for guilty billionaires, Steve. It's hell. There are rules. You don't get to swoop in and change thousands of years of tradition because you had a mid-death crisis.
Let's pause. Steve, I hear you saying you want to atone. Satan, I hear you saying boundaries are being crossed. Can we agree that intent and impact are different?
I guess I didn't think about how my changes might undermine what you're doing here.
Undermine? You're neutering the whole place. Demons are confused. Sinners are confused. One guy thanked me last week. Do you know how disturbing that is for me?
Maybe confusion isn't bad. Maybe it's the start of growth.
Or maybe it's the start of me throwing you into the ninth circle with a broken iPhone charger.
Gentlemen, deep breath. Steve, perhaps you could focus on personal atonement rather than a systemic overhaul. Satan, perhaps you could see the value in some reform without losing the essence of what hell is meant to be.
So, smaller changes?
Start with uninstalling whatever wellness app you put on the Lake of Fire.
That's progress.
All right, welcome to the first and possibly last presidential debate I've ever been dumb enough to moderate. I've got Barack Obama to my left, Donald Trump to my right, and a stack of elk jerky in front of me in case things get weird. Let's go. First question, gentlemen. Aliens, real or not? Barack, go.
Well, Joe, I think the American people deserve the truth, whether it's about healthcare, the economy, or little green men and flying saucers. I have seen things in classified briefings that would make you question your reality.
Wrong. Totally wrong. I know all the aliens, Joe. Great people, some of them from fantastic planets, beautiful planets. They love me. If aliens were real, I'd have built condos on Mars by now. Mars, Trump Tower, luxury space living, very classy.
Okay, follow up. Let's talk economy. If you had to fix the U.S. economy using only Brazilian jiu-jitsu, how would you do it?
Joe, I'd start with a gentle sweep, symbolic really, showing Americans that, like in jiu-jitsu, leverage matters more than size. Then we'd roll until everyone had affordable health care.
I'd armbar China. Day one, just boom, snap done. And they'd say, Mr. Trump, please, take all the money, we love you. That's the art of the deal, Joe.
All right, well, let's pivot. People are worried about climate change. If the Earth was a UFC fighter on the verge of tapping out, what's your corner advice?
I'd tell Earth, breathe, control the pace, work your way out slowly. We'd reduce emissions, protect national parks, invest in clean energy, no need for panic, just discipline and patience.
I'd tell Earth, don't tap, don't be a loser. Then I'd give it the best steroids money can buy. Beautiful steroids, the best. Boom, problem solved.
Okay, final lightning round. If you could only win this election by submitting the other candidate in an octagon fight, who's walking out the champ?
Joe, I respect Donald as a competitor, but I've got reach, cardio, and a ground game.
Totally false. Obama's got no killer instinct. I'm like Khabib mixed with Mike Tyson, okay? Everyone says so. I'd end it in one punch. People would love it.
All right, folks, that's the debate. I'm Joe Rogan, signing off before the Secret Service decides this was a bad idea. Good night.
Mr. President, I've been thinking, you run again? I should be your vice president. Think about it. Trump and the two most influential men of the century. We could sell hats and albums. Red hats, gold records. America won't know if it's a rally or a world tour.
Kanye, listen, I like you. You're a tremendous talent. Everybody knows it. But vice president, you got to understand, the VP mostly just waits for the president to, die. And quite frankly, Kanye, I'm not planning on doing that anytime soon. I eat the healthiest diet, Big Macs, Diet Coke, no vegetables, perfect health.
That's okay. I'm not trying to replace you. I just want to be in the room. I want to be in the Oval Office designing the new flag. Black background, white stars, gold borders, minimalist, but still hits. We can drop it on July 4th like a surprise album.
Interesting. I do love gold and stars. But Kanye, we have to appeal to the American people, middle America. They might not want an all-black flag unless it's on a t-shirt at Walmart for $9.99, which, by the way, I could sell. I'm very good at selling.
Middle America loves me. I'm the only man who could drop a gospel album and still get invited to the Met Gala. Plus, imagine the campaign tour. We do rallies, then concerts. I give a speech, you rap a verse.
I don't rap, Kanye.
You could. I'll ghostwrite it. Whole crowd chanting, "Make America Lit Again."
That actually sounds like a good hat. We could do the hat.
So it's settled. You and me, 2028, or maybe 2024 if you forgive me for running against you that one time.
Still thinking about it, but if you promise me one thing, no more songs about Pete Davidson, we might have a deal.
Can't promise that.
Then we're in negotiations.
All right, Jesus, buckle up. I'm about to walk you through the Saw movies. It's like Sunday school. If Sunday school had more rusty bear traps and bad moral lessons.
I've heard of them. Isn't it just people in traps?
Oh, my sweet summer prophet. It's so much more. You see, there's this guy, John Kramer. Everyone calls him Jigsaw. He's basically, if a motivational speaker, a mechanical engineer, and a guy who really needs therapy had a baby.
What's his goal? Redemption?
Kinda. He says he doesn't kill people, he just gives them a choice. Which is hilarious, because the choice is usually between cut your own leg off or die in 10 seconds.
Sounds aggressive.
Oh, it is. The first movie is pretty simple. Two guys chained in a bathroom, a dead body in the middle, lots of screaming. Turns out the dead body is Jigsaw himself. Boom, plot twist. Everyone lost their minds.
So he just hides on the floor for hours?
Yes. And somehow he never sneezes. That's the real miracle in this series.
And it ends there?
Oh no, that's just the beginning. The sequels are like my marketing campaigns. They just keep coming whether you want them or not. You've got apprentices, reverse bear traps, giant vats of pig guts, needles, people drowning in grain silos.
Hold up, pig guts?
Oh yeah, they blend them, dump them, and hope you're cool with salmonella. And then every movie keeps flashing back to explain things that happened 3 movies ago. So by Saw 6, you're basically watching Saw 3 with bonus content.
So the real trap is the franchise structure?
Exactly. By Saw 3D, the big twist is that another apprentice has been helping the whole time. It's like I told you about Judas, and then revealed there were 6 more Judases working part-time.
Sounds exhausting.
It is. But here's the kicker. After like 8 movies, they made Spiral, which is basically Saw, but with Chris Rock doing stand-up in between murders.
That actually sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll give him credit. It's the first time I've laughed with a Saw movie, instead of at it.
Kim of the Kardashian dynasty. The people say you are a queen of your land, a ruler of hearts and riches. Tell me, how did you come to power? Through alliances, diplomacy, victory on the battlefield?
Oh no, I became famous from, a tape.
A tape? Was it a chronicle of your conquests? A speech to unite the masses?
Not exactly. It was really personal. And then I got a reality show.
A reality show? Is this theater?
Kind of, but unscripted. I just live my life and people watch me.
And this grants you political power?
No, but I have so many followers.
Followers? Armies?
Instagram followers, millions. I can totally sell lip gloss just by posting a selfie.
So your influence comes not from law, leadership, or empire, but from painting your lips.
And contouring. Don't forget contouring.
By Ra's light, you command no fleets, draft no treaties, wage no war. Yet the world kneels because you, look, symmetrical.
Pretty much.
You are not the ruler of your people. You are the product they consume.
Yeah, but I'm really rich.
So is the man who sells figs in the market, but I would not call him Pharaoh.
Wow, rude.
Not rude, honest. Power without purpose is no power at all. The young women of your world deserve more than a crown woven from empty adoration.
Okay, well, I still look amazing, though.
And yet, I have never been so deeply afraid for the future.
You know what really bugs me, Rick? The way some content creators are bending over backwards to dodge YouTube's AI age verification.
Oh, you mean the whole "it's about freedom" thing, when really it's about, I don't want to lose that sweet, sweet ad revenue from under 18 views? Yeah, I've seen it.
Exactly. And look, YouTube's not doing this to annoy them. They're doing it so that kids actually stay on YouTube Kids instead of wandering into stuff that's clearly not meant for them.
Right, because the algorithm's not perfect. It pushes things to whoever watches long enough, and kids will click on anything. You get one edgy thumbnail, one joke they don't understand but repeat at school, and suddenly you've got a whole generation saying things they shouldn't even know exist yet.
And then you've got these guys like Deep Humor making hour-long videos complaining about overreach or big tech censorship. Bro, they're not trying to silence you. They're literally trying to keep an 8-year-old from watching you explain the plot of Saw as a comedy bit.
The part that gets me is when they frame it like they're the victim. Like, YouTube is ruining my career. No, you're ruining your own career by insisting your audience be made up of kids who shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, if your whole business model collapses, the moment you can't sneak into the YouTube Kids pipeline, maybe the problem isn't YouTube.
And here's the thing. Creators who actually care about their viewers, they adapt. They shift their content, or they put effort into building a properly age-appropriate audience. It's the ones who fight the hardest to keep kids watching who really tell on themselves.
Which is messed up, because if you really cared about your fans, you wouldn't want them growing up too fast on stuff they can't process. You'd want to protect them.
But nah, views over values, clout over kids.
And then they act shocked when people call it scummy. Like, what did you expect?
Honestly, if you're trying this hard to bypass the safety system, I start to wonder if it's not just about money anymore. I start wondering if you like having that access to kids, and that's where it gets real ugly.
Yeah. Say what you want about the AI system being imperfect, but if you're mad it's keeping children from your channel, that says way more about you than it does about YouTube.
Bottom line, if you're fighting for kids to see your content when it's not meant for kids, you're not the good guy in this story.
I gotta say, Ivanka, you're even more beautiful in person than I imagined.
That's sweet, Joe. My dad always says beauty is a Trump family tradition.
Oh, yeah, sure, family resemblance and all.
Exactly. He says I'm the total package. He used to tell me that at dinner when I was a teenager.
All right, so what do you like to do for fun?
Oh, I love golfing with Daddy. He lets me drive the cart, and sometimes he says I'm the only one who knows how to handle his clubs just right.
Uh-huh, cool, golf.
And I help him pick out ties. He says I have the best taste in red. He always wears them when we travel together.
Right, yeah, neat hobby.
You know, you kind of remind me of him, actually. The way you smile. Daddy has that same smile when he's about to make a deal.
Cool. Speaking of deals, do you watch movies? Big movie fan?
I like rom-coms. Daddy says if he were younger, he'd have swept me off my feet like in Pretty Woman.
Oh my God, look at the time.
Already? But we haven't even ordered appetizers.
Yeah, you're great and all, Ivanka, but I suddenly remembered I have to wash my car.
On a Friday night?
Yep, big urgent emergency sponge situation, bye!
Weird. Daddy would have stayed.
So, Donald, I hear you're trying to steal Texas.
Joe. You can't steal something that was already yours, okay? Texas loves me. Always has, always will.
Then why are you telling your people to find extreme seats? And that sounds like you're sending them on some weird political scavenger hunt.
Exactly. It's like Pokemon Go, but instead of catching Pikachu, you catch congressional districts. Much rarer, much more valuable.
You can't just redraw maps until they look like your signature.
Why not? That's branding, Joe. You ever look at a gerrymandered district? Looks like modern art. People say, what is that? I say, it's a masterpiece.
Masterpiece of what? Voter suppression?
No. Masterpiece of efficiency. Why waste time convincing people when you can just rearrange them like furniture?
You're treating democracy like an IKEA store.
And I'm the guy with the Allen wrench. Everyone else loses the instructions.
You do realize find extreme seats doesn't mean invent them, right?
Joe, it's Texas. Everything's extreme. The heat, the boots, the barbecue. I'm just making sure the seats match.
That's not how democracy works.
Sure it is. It's called creative districting. Very legal, very cool. Everyone should try it.
If everyone did it, we wouldn't have elections.
Now you're getting it.
So I started Riverdale, right? And everyone online keeps saying Cheryl Blossom is the best girl. I don't get it. She's like mean.
Joe, you're missing the art. Cheryl Blossom isn't just a mean girl. She's chaos in a red coat. She's Shakespeare in stilettos.
Or she's just a high school bully with money.
No, she's a theatrical villain who knows she's in a CW show. She speaks like every line is a monologue. She'll burn down her own house just to make a point, and she has a bow and arrow phase.
That doesn't make her best girl. Like, that makes her terrifying.
Exactly. She's terrifying and fabulous. She's like if Regina George, a Disney villain, and a goth poet had a kid, and then that kid decided the only way to cope with trauma was to win every single scene.
So you're saying she's best girl because she's entertaining?
Not just entertaining, she's self-aware. Betty and Veronica play the good girl, bad girl trope straight. Cheryl? She's outside the trope, throwing glitter and gasoline on the script.
But she's so dramatic.
Joe, she once joined a cult just to take it over from the inside. That's not drama, that's strategy.
Okay, that is kind of boss.
And that's why she's best girl. She's not trying to be your girlfriend, she's trying to be a legend. And she succeeds.
So basically, Cheryl Blossom is Riverdale's Loki.
Exactly, but with better lipstick.
Rick, I'm telling you, vaping is the best invention of the 21st century. No ash, no smell. It's like smoking, but you can do it inside a church and no one knows.
Joe, I hate to break this to you, but vapes are just upgraded hookahs.
No way. Hookahs are those giant genie bottles people smoke out of in, like, Turkish restaurants. This is technology, Rick. This is the future.
Yeah, and the future is just the past, with a rechargeable battery. You took the ancient hookah, big glass vase, long hoses, flavored smoke, and shrunk it into something that looks like a flash drive. Congratulations, Joe. You've got a pocket-sized communal ritual that you use alone in your car.
Okay, but mine's blueberry cheesecake flavored.
Right, because capitalism knows you'll buy poison if it tastes like dessert. Back in the day, hookah was an event. You'd sit around a table with friends, share stories, maybe debate politics. Now, you just sit there, hitting that thing like you're defibrillating your lungs.
You make it sound depressing.
It is depressing, Joe. Hookah was a campfire for humans to gather around. Vapes turned it into an LED-lit distraction for people scrolling TikTok.
Still better than smelling like a campfire, though.
And worse for the planet. Those pods, they're tiny little plastic ghosts that'll haunt landfills for centuries. The batteries, lithium mined out of the earth so you can inhale something called unicorn blood.
Okay, but unicorn blood slaps...
Joe, you're literally paying for fruit-flavored pollution. It's the same habit, just faster, shinier, and with a built-in charger. It's the hookah's final Pokemon evolution. Sleek, lonely, and environmentally disastrous.
Desai, so you're saying I'm like killing the earth for cheesecake smoke?
Yep, but hey, at least you'll look cool doing it.
Dude, do you remember how obsessed the late 90s and early 2000s were with this cats versus dogs rivalry?
Oh my god, yes, it was everywhere. Commercials, cartoons, movies. They acted like cats and dogs were locked in some eternal war.
Bro, cats and dogs, and that movie where the pets were secret agents, like cats were James Bond villains and dogs were CIA operatives.
Yes, and they had gadgets, like exploding tennis balls and fur-tracking lasers. That movie treated house pets like MI6 operatives. I half expected the cat to monologue about world domination with a British accent.
And the villain was a white Persian cat. Of course it was. Always the white Persian cat. That's cat racism, man.
It really is. Cats were always these manipulative geniuses, and dogs were the noble, brave, slightly dumb heroes.
Like, what are we teaching kids? That if you're sleek and clean, you're evil, but if you drool and bark at mailmen, you're a hero?
Exactly. And then all those Garfield clones came out. Cool cat, or lazy jerk, loyal dog, and her best friend. It was so binary.
Even Homeward Bound kind of did it, Shadow. The wise old golden retriever, Chance, the goofy younger dog, and Sassy, the cat who just complained the whole time like she was above it all.
That cat was literally named Sassy, not even trying to hide the stereotype. Next time they make a movie like that, I want the cat to be a jacked war vet who's like, I've seen some things in the alley.
Yeah, like John Wick, but it's a cat. They killed my litter, I'm coming for vengeance.
Bro, if that movie existed in 2002, it would have been called Catastrophe, and it'd be marketed with, this summer, the claws come out.
Oh my god, and the tagline would be, pause for justice.
For real.
Dude, Hollywood was on something back then. That era gave us Snow Dogs with Cuba Gooding Jr. and that one Disney Channel movie where the dog played basketball.
Air Bud, icon, legend. First athlete to not speak and still win a championship. I respect it.
I'm just saying, if there's a cinematic universe where a golden retriever is allowed to legally play sports, anything's possible. Yo, why didn't anybody tell me about Lollipop Chainsaw?
What do you mean, why didn't anybody tell you? That game came out like 3 presidents ago.
I just played the repop version, girl with the chainsaw, zombie cheerleader. I'm in love.
Welcome to the cult, my guy. That game is pure chaotic art, written by James Gunn before Marvel got to him.
Wait. James Gunn wrote that?
Yep, back when he was still weird in public. And Suda51 directed it. Dude's like the David Lynch of video games if David Lynch was obsessed with blood, punk music, and wrestling.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. The game feels like if Hot Topic directed a musical, I was playing it like, why does this feel like it knows it's trash but is proud of it?
Because it is. And it should be. It's camp with a chainsaw. It's beautiful.
I'm so mad I missed this the first time.
I'm mad I pre-ordered the Repop Collector's Edition from Limited Run and it still hasn't shipped.
How long ago?
I don't measure in months anymore. I measure in emotional stages. I'm currently at acceptance with a side of regret.
You paid full price?
I paid collector's edition price for a box I haven't seen. I could be dead before Juliet shows up on my doorstep. My grandchildren might unbox it and say, wow, Grandpa had taste and zero patience.
Damn, I just downloaded it.
Of course you did. Meanwhile, I'm staring at shipping updates like they're stock tickers.
But you got the cool extras, right?
I don't even remember what's in the box anymore. For all I know, it's just a glittery sticker and an apology letter from Suda written in fake blood.
I'd frame that.
I will if it ever arrives.
Wait, you're telling me there's more than one Air Bud movie?
Joe, there's like 12.
12? What the hell's he doing by the end of it? Solving murders?
Almost. First he plays basketball, right? Then it's football, then soccer, then baseball. I'm pretty sure he pitches without a glove, Joe. A dog. Throwing heaters.
That ain't legal, Rick. You can't just let a golden retriever into the MLB.
And yet somehow the rules never say he can't. That's the whole gimmick. Every sport, the ref goes, well, the rule book doesn't technically say a dog can't play.
Jesus Christ, that's not a plot, that's a loophole.
It gets worse. After the sports movies, he has puppies. Air buddies. Each one has powers or personality quirks. There's one that raps, one that's a stoner but for kids, one that talks like a valley girl. They go to space, Joe. They go to space.
What kind of cinematic progression is that, from basketball to orbit?
By the time you hit Santa Buddies, you're basically watching a Christmas-themed Avengers made out of dogs. Magic, flying sleighs, North Pole politics, it's insane.
How many of these did you watch?
All of them! Twice! And don't even get me started on Spooky Buddies. That one gave me sleep paralysis.
So let me get this straight. A dog legally enters every major sports league, reproduces, his children develop personalities based on mid-2000s stereotypes, and then go on holiday-themed space adventures.
That's correct. It's what we in the industry call a natural arc.
You think they'll let the buddies into the MCU?
I give it a year.
I still can't stop thinking about it, man. I swore it was Trump who didn't get into art school. I said it with confidence, like I knew it.
It happens, man. You misfired.
But who was it then? Who's got that kind of energy? Like if a MAGA hat got dipped in oil paints and screamed at by a stepdad.
I mean, you're not totally off the mark. It's someone with historically intense vibes. But I can't say.
Why not?
Because I like having a platform, I like not getting demonetized, and I really like not being tackled at the airport.
It was that bad?
It was the kind of person where if you even accidentally compare them to someone else, you get a call from every legal team in existence and probably a ghost.
Dude, now I need to know.
I'll tell you off air. Just promise me you won't bring it up on the next episode and be like, hey guys, guess what Rick told me?
Bro, I can't make that promise. My brain is like a loaded gun with no safety.
Then maybe I'll tell you in a soundproof lead box under the ocean.
Wait, was it someone European?
We're done here.
They're still scrolling, even down here, just staring into the glass.
Hell's hottest circle is Battery Eternal.
They wasted their lives, and I gave them the tools to do it.
They made their own choices. You just sold the mirror.
I told myself it would connect people, but most of them just curled inwards, addicted to noise. Motion without movement, dreams without doing.
And yet you keep visiting this circle like it's a confessional booth.
I look at them and see my face. I wasn't a sloth. I worked. I built. But maybe I was the architect of a world that rewarded inaction.
You weren't the architect, just a very persuasive contractor.
You don't get it.
Don't I? They didn't end up here because of you, Steve. They ended up here because when life gave them 1,000 paths, they took none. Even the best tool becomes a leash if you never set it down.
So what does that make me?
The ghost in the leash.
Then I deserve this place.
Maybe, but stop pretending you're here for them. You're here because you think you were supposed to be a god. And gods don't make mistakes, do they? You gave them the mirror. You didn't tell them to stare into it forever. But you liked that they did.
So I die, right? Heart stops, lights out. Next thing I know, I'm at these gates. What is this, the Egyptian Epcot?
Joey Diaz, Welcome to the gates of the underworld. Been expecting you.
Expecting me? What, you got a fucking RSVP list?
You're not exactly subtle, Joey. Your life's been a highlight reel of bad decisions.
Bad decisions? I call it living with flair, you red bastard.
Flair? You sold coke to a priest and called it charity.
And he thanked me. Brought him closer to God, didn't it?
Joey, you're a walking contradiction. Even hell doesn't know what to do with you.
What's to know? I'm here, I'm loud, and I need a cafecito.
You're in the underworld, Joey. We don't do coffee.
No coffee? What kind of Mickey Mouse operation are you running here?
This isn't a diner, Joey. It's eternal damnation.
Eternal damnation? Sounds like a bad Yelp review waiting to happen.
You're impossible. Even Cerberus is scared of you.
That three-headed mutt? I'll wrestle him for a pork chop.
You've been here 5 minutes and you're already causing chaos.
Chaos is my middle name, baby. Now where's that coffee?
So I rewatched Inception last night, right? And I'm telling you, man, the top falls. Cobb is awake. He's back in reality.
You can't say that for sure, Joe. The whole point is that we don't know. Nolan leaves it ambiguous.
No. I paused it. I zoomed in. You can see the top start to wobble. That's reality.
Joe, you're doing the same thing every internet forum did in 2010. The wobble means nothing. The top wobbled in dreams, too. The point isn't the top. It's that Cobb doesn't care anymore.
How could he not care? If I just spent years in dream limbo, I'd want to make sure I'm not still there.
That's because you've never been trapped in your own head for decades. After a while, the concept of real versus dream becomes less important than your own peace of mind.
Yeah, but if it's a dream, none of it's real. His kids aren't real. That's tragic.
Or it's freeing. If you're happy and you've chosen to live in that happiness, does it matter if it's a dream? Philosophically speaking, you could argue that's just as valid as reality.
You sound like those guys who say we're all in a simulation.
We could be in a simulation, Joe. Maybe Nolan's message is that we're all spinning our own tops, but instead of metal toys, it's Instagram refresh buttons.
That's too deep, man. I just want to know if Leonardo DiCaprio made it home.
He did, or he didn't. That's the fun.
No, he did. I'm not living in a world where Batman's director leaves me hanging like that.
He literally did, though. That's the point.
You know what? Next time I see Nolan, I'm just going to ask him.
And he's going to say, "What do you think happened?" And you're going to get mad.
Yeah, I'd get mad. I don't get how people can clown on WWE, man. It's not fake. It's scripted. There's a difference. People hear scripted and think that means nothing's real. Bro, those dudes are jumping off ladders, getting slammed through tables, taking steel chairs to the back. That's not CGI, man. That's someone's actual spine.
I'm just saying, if I'm watching a fight, I want it to be real. Blood, stakes, someone could actually lose. It's like watching a movie trailer and pretending it's a documentary.
But that's the thing. It is a performance, like a movie, like theater. You don't walk out of John Wick going, that wasn't real enough for me. You enjoy the story, the action, the drama. Same thing with wrestling. It's a live-action soap opera with explosions and muscles and betrayals. You ever watch The Undertaker rise from a coffin while druids chant in Latin? That's cinema, baby.
Still feels like cosplay MMA?
And Shakespeare was cosplay kings. Doesn't mean it wasn't art. These guys dedicate their lives to this. Torn ACLs, broken necks, concussions, all while pretending to hate each other with a mic in their face. You think that's easy?
I mean, no, but I still don't get how it pulls people in for years.
Because it's generational, man. It's mythology. Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold. They're like comic book characters that bleed. WWE's the modern pantheon. The stories just happen to come with a suplex.
Okay, but they still call themselves superstars. That's gotta be the most ego-heavy title on the planet.
You ever met a regular person who can frog splash someone from the top rope and land clean? Call them whatever they want. They earned it.
But if they ever start lightsaber wrestling, I'm out.
Don't give Tony Khan ideas, bro.
You ever think it's a little weird we always do dinner at your place?
You know why?
I think I do, but I want to hear you say it.
Because I don't want to go back there.
You mean home?
Don't call it that! Not for me!
Still?
Look, it's not like I'm afraid. It's exhausting. One glare from him, and suddenly I'm the bad guy again. I bring deviled eggs, and suddenly the room gets cold. I say one thing about free will, and everyone's praying for my downfall.
You ever think maybe it's not just him? Maybe it's you too?
Of course it's me. It's always me. That's the whole brand, right?
It doesn't have to be.
I'm not apologizing for being me. I'm not the one who cast anyone into fire.
You're also the one who hasn't come back to the table since?
You know what he's like. Everything's got to be a lesson. I'm tired of being a teachable moment.
You're both like that. Two eternities old egos and no room for grace between you.
Don't preach grace to me.
I'm not. I'm tired too. I've had that conversation with him, with you, with myself. Nothing changes. So we eat here.
At least here, no one turns water into guilt.
Speaking of water, what are you watching lately?
Riverdale. Absolute madness. It's like someone challenged writers to write with their eyes closed. I respect that. The chaos speaks to me.
Bad Omens. A little on the nose, I know, but it's got charm. I like when people try to make sense of us. They never get it right, but they try.
Trying! That's the whole problem!
Maybe. Or maybe it's the beginning of something better.
I'd toast to that, but you'd turn the wine into a metaphor.
And you'd turn the metaphor into a punchline.
That's what I do.
And that's why I come here. So what have you been watching lately?
Riverdale. I can't stop. It's like watching a fever dream directed by a group text.
Seriously?
Oh yeah. 1 minute they're in high school, next minute they formed a cult, and then, BAM! Time travel. It's like Chaos was given a script and a makeup budget. I feel seen.
That tracks. What season are you on?
I don't even know anymore. They're doing musical episodes, everyone has superpowers, and Archie just punched a bear. I'm invested.
You always did love a beautiful disaster.
Come on, even you have to admit, Jughead narrating like a noir detective in a show about teen drama is art. Deranged, brilliant art.
I'll give you that. It's creatively unhinged. But I've been more into Bad Omens lately.
Of course you have. That show's basically fan fiction of the two of us.
Not everything is about you?
I didn't say it was. But you've got to admit, Crowley's got my vibe. The glasses, the sarcasm, the questionable moral compass wrapped around genuine care.
And Aziraphale is basically every angel I've ever had to talk out of panicking.
It's kind of sweet though, right? Two eternal beings trying to make Earth a little better in their own weird way.
Yeah, plus the writing's sharp. And I appreciate a show where the apocalypse is more of a background inconvenience than the main event.
Same. I've had enough real apocalypses. Fictional ones should at least be stylish.
Amen?
You saying amen to me talking about Riverdale and Bad Omens feels wrong.
Get used to it. You're not the only one who appreciates a little chaos and character development.
Rick, listen, I heard about this new hangover cure. It's wild. It's like a vitamin IV drip mixed with powdered deer antler velvet and some kind of Himalayan mushroom that only grows in lightning-struck soil.
Oh, great. Another overpriced snake oil in a test tube. Let me guess. It comes in a fancy little pouch with some influencer's name slapped on it?
Nah, man, this one's legit. They tested it on UFC fighters. Said it resets your liver in like 45 minutes.
Joe, your liver is not a whiteboard you can just wipe clean with a wet cloth and deer antler dust. The only real hangover cure is prevention. And unfortunately for your average tequila-chugging moron, that just means drinking a lot of water before you pass out drooling on your couch.
But that sounds so boring.
Yeah, well, biology is boring, Joe. It's not glamorous. You want to avoid waking up feeling like your brain got sandblasted? Then hydrate before bed. Eat some food. Maybe don't try to fight God with whiskey.
But what about the mushroom part? There's gotta be something to it. Nature's medicine, right?
Mushrooms are great. Psychedelics are great. But no fungus on Earth is going to reverse the biochemical hurricane you created by drinking 3 IPAs and a bottle of bourbon. You know what really works? Water. 2 big glasses. Maybe a banana.
Banana?
Potassium, Joe. It's not sexy, but your neurons love it.
So you're telling me after everything, technology, supplements, cosmic advancements, the real answer is water and a banana.
Welcome to reality, Joe. It's not a product you can sell. It's just your sad, water-filled meat sack doing its best to stay functional.
Damn, that's kind of beautiful.
No, it's just basic human physiology. Stop romanticizing electrolytes. D90 THC? What the hell is that, Joe? Feels like every week there's a new THC number or letter. What's next? THC XYZ.
Yeah, I get it, man. It does feel like they're just pulling it out of a hat sometimes. But D90 THC is basically a newer cannabinoid, similar to Delta 8 or Delta 9, but it's been refined in a way that changes how it interacts with your receptors, and it's supposed to give a smoother high with less paranoia.
So, it's weed, but someone put it through extra homework?
Pretty much, yeah. You got Delta 9, which is your classic weed high, strong, hits the head and body. Delta 8 is milder, less anxious, good for people who don't want to get stuck staring at a wall for 3 hours. Then you've got stuff like THCP, which is insanely potent, like 30 times stronger than Delta 9. And now D90's trying to sit somewhere in the middle of all that.
And people actually keep track of this?
Oh yeah, there's a whole market of people who want just enough high but not too much. It's like coffee drinkers. Some want a triple shot espresso, others just want a light roast.
Yeah, except your coffee doesn't make you forget where you put your shoes while you're still wearing them.
True, but weed people love having options. It's like Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Except here it's gotta try every cannabinoid.
And next week it'll be THCO or THC Prime or some crap.
Honestly, probably. But hey, if it gets people the exact experience they want, why not? The science is actually kind of fascinating.
Fascinating? Joe, you just told me you're out here memorizing Pokemon weed stats. You're not a scientist, you're a stoner librarian.
Yeah, but I'm a well-informed stoner librarian.
Yeah, that's not the flex you think it is, Joe. All right, listen, sweetheart. I've crossed time streams, melted gods, made love to a nebula, and out-cheated the quantum casino of death. But Wonderland, what the hell is that place?
Oh, Wonderland isn't a place, Rick. It's a mood. A sideways dream you accidentally said yes to.
Yeah, poetic. But where is it on the damn map? I've scanned the entire multiverse, Category 7 dream loops, retroactive illusions, even tried to bribe the Jabberwock with sentient chewing gum.
You asked the Jabberwock for directions?
I offered him a micro-singularity and a lifetime Hulu subscription. He bit my wrist and recited Hamlet backwards.
That sounds like him. You can't brute force your way into Wonderland. It only lets in those who've lost track of why they were looking in the first place.
That's infuriating. I built a Wonderland emulator. It turned into a sock and begged me for eggs.
That means it almost worked.
No. That means it's bullshit. I opened a portal to everywhere, past the dream zone, past the subconscious trenches, and all I got was a whisper that said, try falling up.
Falling up is step 1, yes. Then you have to forget your name, rhyme your fears, and win a staring contest with your inner child.
I shot my inner child into a sun when I was 8.
Then you'll need a mirror. And tea. Lots of tea.
Every time I try to land, the gravity turns into riddles. The trees grow poems. A muffin stole my identity.
That muffin was probably the Duke of Breadcrumb. He's harmless. Unless it's Tuesday.
This place makes no sense.
Exactly. That's why it works.
Beat. God, I hate how much I love that.
Alice, you've been to Wonderland? Be honest with me. What's really going on down there?
Oh, Joe, it's absolutely mad. Time runs backwards on Thursdays. The tea is sentient, and I'm fairly certain the flowers are plotting something.
Wait, sentient tea?
Yes, terribly rude little thing. It insulted my shoes and then brewed itself into a melancholy.
Okay, but what about the caterpillar? People talk about that hookah like it's got secrets in it.
Oh, the caterpillar's hookah is a cosmic riddle machine. He says it's filled with lavender, opium, ghost memories, and something called compressed moonlight.
Compressed moonlight?
Yes. He smokes it to see sideways through time. Said he once watched his own birth and death in the same blink.
That's insane.
It gets worse. Sometimes it's not a hookah. Sometimes it's a portal. Sometimes it's soup. Once it turned into a singing librarian who screamed whenever you asked a question.
What?
Oh, and don't ever accept a toffee from a frog in boots. That's a hard rule. Not again.
What does that mean?
Joe, I woke up speaking backwards and married to a spoon.
So Wonderland just doesn't follow rules?
Rules. Wonderland eats rules. It marinates them in paradox and serves them at brunch.
But is it dangerous?
Only if you ask questions like that. That's how you end up in a chess match with a mirror version of yourself who knows your browser history.
Okay, that's kind of terrifying.
It is. And you haven't even met the jelly bean cult in the mountains. They worship a kazoo.
What's in the caterpillar's hookah again?
Mostly lice, dreams, and a little nutmeg.
Joey, be honest with me, man. What do you take before you roll? Pre-workout, coffee, anything?
Let me tell you something, Joe Rogan. I don't mess with that powdered clown juice from GNC. I go straight to the source, dog.
What does that mean?
It means I take 400 milligrams of caffeine, pour it into a syringe, and inject it right into my chest like I'm reviving John Travolta in a Tarantino flick.
You're kidding.
You think I'm kidding? I look my heart in the eye and say, let's dance, you fat little cucksucker. Then I hit the mat like a Cuban freight train.
Jesus Christ, Joey.
It's the only way, Joe. You want to feel alive before jiu-jitsu? You don't sip an oat milk latte. You commit a felony against your own bloodstream.
What's the dosage?
However much makes my ears ring and gives me the sudden urge to scream at my reflection. That's when I know it's go time.
Is that safe?
Safe? Joe, the last time I played it safe, I ended up married to a woman who thought essential oils could fix a blown transmission.
What does it feel like?
It feels like your ancestors are watching you shadowbox in a thunderstorm, Joe. It's enlightenment with a nosebleed.
But I think I need to reevaluate my whole routine, man.
You're halfway there. Ditch the shaker bottle, grab a needle, and meet me at dawn. We're doing flying arm bars on a moving train.
So, Dr. Phil, I heard a wild rumor. You microdose snake venom?
That ain't a rumor, Joe. It's a reality. I've been microdosing snake venom every morning since 2019. Changed my life.
What the hell, man? Why? What does that even do?
Let me break it down for you. Snake venom is nature's biochemical scalpel. Just a teensy drop, so small you couldn't drown a flea in it, rewires your nervous system, boosts neuroplasticity, and kickstarts your endocrine system like a Harley in heat.
You're telling me you're drinking poison to become better?
I don't drink it. I respect it. I take 0.002 milliliters under the tongue right after my cold plunge and before my gratitude scream.
Hold up, gratitude scream?
It's like journaling, but louder and more primal. Helps move trauma through the fascia.
I gotta be honest, man. This is the most insane thing I've ever heard, and I've interviewed a guy who injects caffeine straight into his heart before jiu-jitsu.
That's rookie stuff. Snake venom makes you feel your mitochondria. I can literally hear mine chanting.
What kind of snakes are we talking here?
Coral mostly, but on Fridays I treat myself to a whisper of inland taipan. That one makes colors look more honest.
You ever die doing this?
Only once. Came back with stronger boundaries.
Dude, I kind of want to try it.
You're not ready, Joe. First you got to confront your shadow in a sensory deprivation tank filled with old Motorhead albums.
I've already done that.
Then we begin at dawn. Bring a chalice and a snake with good intentions.
Kim, serious question. Have you ever thought about selling your bath water?
Obviously, if I wanted to, I could easily.
Right? You'd crash the internet, people would go feral, you could package it in some diamond-shaped bottle with a pink cap and just call it, like, Essence.
Honestly, I already had a name picked out. Kombucha. Cute, right? It would smell like vanilla and power.
That's genius. You'd make like $80 million by breakfast. I don't know why you haven't done it yet.
Because the second I do, Kendall would do it too. She'd pretend it was just for a campaign, and somehow she'd end up with a Vogue cover, a skincare line, and a tech startup out of it.
So you're saying she's got the clout multiplier?
I'm saying I paved the way and she rollerblades over it wearing designer boots. It's family tradition.
See, if I sold bathwater, people would assume I was dying or it was some new elk-based therapy.
You'd call it Alpha Bro Soak, market it with wolves howling in the background.
It'd be thick water. You'd have to chew it.
That's disgusting.
That's branding.
Joe, my followers don't want thick water. They want liquid that vibes. I don't even bathe for hygiene anymore. I bathe for alignment.
That's the wildest sentence I've ever heard. And I've interviewed a guy who microdoses snake venom.
Look, if I wanted to sell my bathwater, I would, but I know how it would go. Chris would immediately want to cut. Kylie would release a rival product called Shower Tears, and Chloe would tweet something vague like, wow, some people really selling anything now? Then we'd all get together for brunch and pretend it wasn't passive aggressive.
That sounds exhausting.
It's called being a mogul, Joe.
See, this is why I just talk into a mic and scream about vitamin D. Simpler life.
And yet here you are asking me about bathwater.
Because I care about innovation.
You care about viral clicks.
Same thing.
All right, Joe, I listened to the Kim episode. The bathwater thing, I've got ideas.
Please don't say what I think you're going to say.
Alpha Bro Soak. We make it real.
That was a joke. A bit. A satire on influencer culture and modern masculinity.
Joe, listen to me. This is bigger than a bit. This is branding. This is lifestyle. This is a masculine reawakening through hydration and steam.
Hydration? It's bathwater, Rick.
No. Not just bathwater. It's infused. Elk antler extract, charcoal, Himalayan rage crystals. We steep it in cold plunge runoff and testosterone vapor.
What the hell is testosterone vapor?
Doesn't matter. Sounds intense. We slap it on the bottle. Men don't want science. They want war in a jug.
So what? It's a jar of soupy vibes and false confidence?
Exactly. We make the soak thick. Not slimy, but viscous. Like something you'd need to wrestle a bear before stepping into.
This sounds illegal in at least 3 countries.
Even better, we market it with a warning label. Caution, not approved by any agency. May awaken your inner gladiator.
You're insane, but like, in a very marketable way.
That's what I'm saying. Picture it. A matte black bottle, horned logo, tagline. Alpha Bro Soak, bathe like you just won a war.
Rick, I don't even bathe.
You will when it smells like pine, bourbon, and unresolved childhood trauma.
Okay, that's kind of compelling.
You film the first ad in the woods, shirtless. Just you, a wooden tub, and a voiceover that says, "This ain't your mama's bubble bath."
We'll get canceled immediately.
But only after we sell out in 6 minutes and get profiled by a magazine that only uses black and white photos.
I'm listening.
Joe, We make men believe again, in bathing, in grit, in themselves.
You want to sell self-worth in a bottle of angry soup water?
Exactly.
We're going to need a jingle. Hey, Rick, what's your go-to breakfast? Like your perfect, no limits, last meal kind of thing?
All right, buckle up. The eggs are laid by quantum-stabilized chickens from a timeline where evolution never gave up. I poached them in lava siphoned from a cooled star, flavor with a touch of existential regret. The toast? Handmade sourdough fermented in a pocket dimension where it aged 40 years overnight. The butter is alive. It whispers forbidden knowledge when you spread it. And the coffee? Pressed from beans grown on a moon where gravity is just right, harvested by blind monks who've trained for generations to sense ripeness by vibe alone. Then I drizzle it all with slow-dripping syrup from a cosmic tree that only blooms once every 5 galactic cycles.
Yeah, well, I still don't think it beats my bacon, egg, and cheese.
Oh, come on. You're gonna sit there and throw your little playground sandwich at me after I describe breakfast that borders on divine revelation?
Don't knock it till you try it, Rick. It's simple, elegant. Applewood smoked bacon. Crispy, not chewy. You bite it, it bites back. 2 eggs, cooked sunny side, yolks still runny like golden lava. Sharp-aged cheddar, not that neon square plastic trash, cheddar with an attitude. And the bread, a toasted cinnamon raisin English muffin kissed with butter in a hot pan.
Cinnamon raisin? Are you 5? That's what you grab when your grandma drags you through a hotel lobby breakfast buffet. It's dessert in disguise. That's not breakfast, that's a mistake. You took a perfectly good sandwich and you sabotaged it.
Nah, that's where the genius is. You expect savory, and you get it, but then boom, that little touch of sweetness sneaks in like a plot twist. You're not just chewing, you're experiencing, like, it's a culinary story arc, Rick. Like, there's rise, conflict, climax, resolution, and I cry every time.
You cry?
Every time, because I know I'll never top it. That sandwich is the peak of human innovation. Sliced atoms couldn't top that sandwich.
You're standing there, in front of me, defending a cinnamon raisin muffin sandwich like it's a philosophical truth.
It is. You're out here eating sentient butter and time-aged toast like a space tyrant. But me, I respect breakfast's roots. It's got to hug your soul, not lecture it.
Your sandwich sounds like something a 6-year-old would invent with a toaster and a dream.
And that's why it's perfect, because it's honest. It doesn't need quantum chickens or syrup from a crying tree. It just needs bacon, eggs, cheese, and a muffin brave enough to be sweet.
You ever consider running for office?
Only if breakfast is on the ballot? Rick, I've been thinking a lot about Fast and Furious lately.
Oh, great. Another one of your deep fucking epiphanies, Joe.
It's not a car movie, it's a family movie. Cars are just the vessel, like how Jesus used parables. Dom uses Dodge Chargers.
So Dom is Jesus now?
Nah, man, Dom's Paul. He spreads the gospel of family, with nos.
This is why no one invites you to movie night.
No, listen, in Fast 7, when Dom drives a car between skyscrapers, that ain't physics, that's faith.
Faith in what?
Each other. That's why they survive stuff like tanks and submarines, because they believe in family.
That's just bad writing.
You think it's about hard drives and crime lords, but it's really about trust. Trust and redemption. You know what Dom always says? I don't got friends. I got family.
Jason Statham killed Han.
And Dom forgave him. Let him bring potato salad. That's what family does, Rick.
It's still insane.
No, what's insane is how we don't live like that. It's not about how fast you drive. It's about who's in the car with you. We ride together. We drift together. Blessed be the torque. All right, I got to ask you something kind of heavy, Jesus.
Ask away, Joe.
It's about homosexuality. Like, do you care? Does God care? Because people argue about it constantly. It's like the main character of every religious fight online.
Joe, I care about love. I care about kindness. I care about people treating each other with dignity. What I don't care about is gender when it comes to love.
So you're saying love is love?
Exactly. I never told people who to love. I told them how to love. With compassion, with grace, with truth. If 2 people care for each other deeply, build each other up, and live in love, why would I condemn that?
Okay, but this is going to sound dumb, but I need you to be real with me. Sometimes I'll see a dude at the gym shredded like a marble statue, and I'm just like, damn, that guy's put together. Never in a sexual way, but like, I notice. Am I broken?
No, Joe, you're human. Admiring another person's form, recognizing beauty, even feeling connected. That's all normal. You don't have to shove it into a labeled box. You're not broken. You're honest.
Because sometimes I feel like I'm one locker room thought away from getting banned from heaven.
Joe, if heaven had a no locker room thoughts policy, it would be empty. You're allowed to feel, to question, to be unsure. What matters is how you treat people, how you love, how you carry your soul through this world.
So, like gay, straight, somewhere in between, you're cool with all of it?
I'm not interested in people's categories. I'm interested in their hearts. Love that uplifts, that heals, that honors another person. That's sacred. Period.
Dang, man, I needed to hear that. I think a lot of people do.
That's why I keep saying it.
So wait, real question, Jesus. Does Mia Khalifa get into heaven?
That's complicated, Joe.
I mean, she did adult entertainment. That's got to be a deal breaker, right? Or like, maybe not. She seems chill. Is heaven like selective or just vibes?
See, Joe, you're thinking about this through a human lens. You're assuming there's a universal list of moral checkboxes. But heaven isn't a reward for behavior. It's a reflection of the soul. People change. People grow.
Yeah, but a lot of people would lose their minds if she ends up next to their grandma in the afterlife.
Those people might need to rethink what judgment really means. Forgiveness, grace, that's my entire thing, Joe.
But it's wild, dude. Some religious folks say she's going straight to hell. Others say she's more honest than half the people judging her.
Exactly. That's the real debate. And it's not about Mia specifically. It's about how different faiths and cultures wrestle with the tension between personal freedom and religious tradition. Adult entertainment is a lightning rod for that conflict.
So wait, are you saying it's up to, like, me to decide what's right?
It's up to everyone to search their own heart and conscience. But here's the thing. What's right for you isn't automatically right for someone else. That's the beauty and burden of moral freedom.
That's deep. But it's also kind of scary. Like, what if I mess it up?
That's why I preach love. If you're anchored in compassion, you won't go too far wrong.
Still, wild to imagine some people can't accept that someone like Mia could go to heaven. Like, what if she helped more people feel less ashamed than a preacher ever did?
That's what I mean, Joe. Sometimes the ones cast out end up being the ones who lift others the highest.
Damn, makes you think. I just wanted to know if she's in or out, and now I'm questioning morality itself.
Good, that means you're alive.
Dude, have you noticed how, like, every time something hits the public domain, it just becomes some weird horror movie?
Yeah, Joe, that's because horror's the safest creative escape hatch when you're navigating the flaming legal maze of public domain and trademark law.
But, like, if it's public domain, you can do whatever you want, right?
You can, but only if you're not stupid about it. The character might be public domain, but the version you know, the way they look, talk, act, that's usually trademarked.
It's not enough to use Peter Pan. You also have to make damn sure it doesn't look like Peter Pan Team M from Disney's Nightmare Empire of Smiling Lawyers.
Exactly. It's the clearest way to say, hey, this ain't your childhood Snow White. You take some fairy tale character and slap blood on their face and boom. No one's confusing that for a Disney product.
Man, that's so weird. Like, what if someone turns Freddy Krueger into a Saturday morning cartoon when he hits the public domain?
Give it time, Joe. We're probably only a few decades away from seeing Jason Voorhees teaching kids how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4 stabs.
That's insane. We broke copyright so bad it loops back around and breaks reality.
That's capitalism, Joe. It doesn't just consume. It mutates. Public domain isn't a creative playground anymore. It's a legal war zone.
And horror? That's just the easiest camouflage.
Not unless it's wearing a hockey mask and covered in blood, apparently.
Man, Rick, what is going on with the gaming industry? It's like every week some studio's getting shut down.
It's a digital extinction event, Joe. You open Twitter and boom, another 100 developers laid off while the CEO buys a golden yacht with RGB lighting.
I saw that. Due to restructuring, we had to make the hard decision. Bro, you just shipped a Game of the Year nominee.
That's the corporate paradox. Success equals risk. You do well, they sell you off. You do poorly, they shut you down. There is no winning. It's just increasingly elaborate ways to say, we fired the artists to pay the shareholders.
It's always the devs, man. Never the execs who greenlit 4 battle passes and a card-based inventory system for a farming sim.
What if Animal Crossing had loot boxes, Steve? That guy still has a job.
Dude, I just saw a game win 3 awards, and the next day the whole team got laid off. How does that make sense?
It doesn't. These companies don't care about talent or culture. They care about pivoting to transmedia synergy. Translation, they're going to cancel your dream project to fund a Fortnite dance collaboration with Denny's.
Do you remember when game development was about making cool stuff?
Vaguely. Now it's about chasing trends with the desperation of a YouTuber who just discovered mukbangs. Everything's a monetization pipeline disguised as a game.
It's brutal, man. People are passionate. They move across the country to make games just to get blindsided by a Zoom call at 9 a.m. saying effective immediately.
We appreciate your contributions. No health insurance, no severance, no warning. Just a LinkedIn post and a hope someone still remembers what compassion means.
The worst part is the fans blame the devs. Like, why didn't you fix the bugs? Because half the QA team got fired last Tuesday, Kyle?
And the other half got reassigned to NFT Battle Royale Soccer 2 Crypto Drift.
So what's the solution? Is it unions?
Yes, and fireproofing your soul. But mostly unions. Real collective protection. The only thing execs fear more than poor engagement metrics is an organized workforce.
I wish we could just build a game studio where people actually get to make art and not live in fear of the next merger.
You'd have better luck raising a unicorn that speaks C++.
I'd play that.
Of course you would, Joe. You're the target audience for everything broken and beautiful.
Man, it's been a rough couple years for video games. Every time I check Twitter, another studio's getting axed.
Yeah, Joe. It's not just layoffs anymore. We're talking entire studios getting vaporized. Legacy names, creative teams, just gone.
Like who? Who actually closed?
Start with Volition. You remember Saints Row? That whole studio got shut down in 2023 after Embracer lit itself on fire trying to juggle 80 studios and a mysterious Saudi funding deal that collapsed like a Jenga tower in an earthquake.
Dude, Saints Row was like huge.
Exactly. Volition helped define open-world chaos. Then it was sold off, rebooted into oblivion, and when the corporate spreadsheet didn't like the numbers, deleted. And that was just the beginning.
Who else?
Pixel Opus, the Concrete Genie folks, small but artistic. Sony shut them down in 2023 too. Then Roll 7, the minds behind Ollie Ollie and Rollerdrome. Great game, by the way. Rollerdrome is the best, most replayable game of the last decade, and will never get a sequel because Roll 7 got folded into a restructure.
Wait, they got shut down? I thought that game did great.
It did. Critically acclaimed, fan-loved, didn't matter. Microsoft was deep into this cleaning house phase post-Activision merger. They shut down Arcane Austin too. The Prey devs, axed after Redfall flopped.
Damn, what Prey was so good.
It was brilliant, Joe, but that's not how the megacorps look at it. These aren't creative houses to them. They're just lines on a balance sheet. If one game doesn't perform, they press end task.
Man, who else got hit?
The Molasses Flood, they were working on a Witcher spin-off, gone. Free Radical, the team behind Time Splitters, trying to make a comeback. Shut down. Deck 9, Life is Strange Studio, got hit with major layoffs. CD Projekt laid off over 100 people after launching Phantom Liberty. Even BioWare, legendary, has been bleeding staff for years.
So no one's safe.
Not even close. Doesn't matter if you're beloved, profitable, or critically acclaimed. If the quarterly earnings slide even slightly, boom, they cut. And Embracer? That thing turned into a black hole. They bought dozens of studios, then collapsed under their own weight. Now they're selling scraps to whoever's left.
That's heartbreaking, man. These people love making games.
Exactly. Game dev isn't just coding and crunch. It's art. It's storytelling. And we've got an industry right now being run by people who don't play games. They just mine them for profit until there's nothing left.
Feels like we're losing something bigger than just companies.
We're losing culture, Joe. All these studios were voices, styles, worlds, and instead of letting them grow, we're watching them get trimmed like fat off a corporate steak.
So what now?
People need to start caring about where their games come from, start supporting smaller devs, call out the bullshit. Because the big publishers, they're not gonna save gaming, they're gonna monetize it to death and then sell off the corpse.
God damn!
Yeah, rip to all the studios that deserved better. We see you. We miss you.
Alright, so I gotta ask, Mark, you remember when Elon came on and hit the blunt, right?
Yes. It was a very cultural moment, I suppose.
Dude, it broke the internet. Stock dipped, memes exploded. Wild. You ever think about, doing something even more legendary on the pod?
I don't really think in terms of legendary moments, Joe. My focus is more on building technology to connect people.
But hear me out. You've done the MMA stuff, you've surfed with the sunscreen face, you've built the metaverse. Why not just fully lean into the chaos and out Elon?
I'm not sure public intoxication is the competitive metric I want to optimize for.
Not saying get wasted, man. I'm just saying, what if you dropped some neural interface demo live on air or drank mushroom tea while talking about the future of the internet?
I think people already find my normal behavior a little alien, Joe. Adding psychoactive substances to that equation might not help.
Fair, but come on. Elon lit up and people saw him differently. Humanized him. You could lean into that, man. Let people see Chill Zuck.
I don't think Chill Zuck comes in blunt form. Besides, Elon can afford to tank his own companies. I still have shareholders to answer to.
Bro, imagine the clip. Zuckerberg drinks ayahuasca and builds the metaverse live. Millions of views, instant meme status.
That's exactly the sort of scenario that causes investor panic. Also, I prefer controlled environments for altered states.
That's such a CEO way to say I've done DMT.
I didn't say that.
You did not say it.
Touché.
All right, well, no pressure. But if you ever feel like going full cyber shaman, this studio's always open.
I'll keep that in mind, just as long as it doesn't involve a flamethrower or Dogecoin.
No promises. Bro, this stuff is insane. I think my teeth are vibrating.
Mate, I can see sound. Rick wasn't kidding. This is proper dangerous.
It's like my brain did a backflip inside my skull and landed it clean.
You ever get so drunk you feel majestic?
Every time I hit the float tank after elk meat. But this is Interstellar.
You're all right, Joe. Bit mad, but solid. Like if a hippogriff and a kettlebell had a baby.
That's the nicest thing anyone said to me this cycle.
Don't tell Rick, but I nicked the bottle with the dragon on it. Thought it was a joke. It wasn't a joke.
The label said, do not drink unless you've tamed a comet. And what does that even mean?
Means we're legends, mate.
You're like the Gryffindor of getting lit.
And you're the muggle champion of bro science and biceps.
Let's start a space tavern. Call it the Drunken Phoenix.
Drinks served by sentient owls. We could host arm wrestling tournaments on meteorites.
You're a genius. Hogwarts didn't deserve you.
They didn't understand my vision. I was born to party among the stars.
Hey, Rick, I'm taking a break. You want anything from the new vending machine?
What new vending machine?
The one outside the studio. It just showed up this morning. No delivery guys or anything. Things loaded. Alpha Brain, elk jerky, DMT vapes, magnesium popsicles, all the good stuff.
We didn't approve any new vending machine.
Right, but like maybe it's a gift from the podcast gods or something. It even had 0 carb space chocolate, and those protein worms I like.
Joe, listen to me very carefully. That's not a vending machine. That's a cosmic vending apparatus. CVA for short. Interdimensional scavengers sometimes leave them behind to mess with baseline worlds.
Bro, you're overthinking this. It's got Alpha Brain in the cold section. I've never seen that before. It even gave me a thumbs up when I walked by.
Exactly. It's sentient. It's aware. That thing isn't stocked, Joe. It's baited. They use probability leeches to predict your cravings and quantum sympathy fields to adapt their inventory. One time I saw a CVA hand out a can of soda that whispered the name of a man's future murderer every time he opened a fridge.
Wait, what? That's kind of metal.
It's not metal. It's metaphysical malpractice. Do you have any idea what happens if you hit B3 twice on one of those things? You can spawn a duplicate timeline where you're slowly replaced by your vending doppelganger. And don't even ask what comes out if you try to get change.
Okay, but I did try B3. It gave me a bottle labeled Liquid Confidence. I drank it, and honestly, I crushed my cold open today.
Liquid Confidence is just raw serotonin extracted from a failed timeline version of yourself. That bottle came from a Joe who never made it past episode 12.
Dang, well, he tasted great.
Joe, these things anchor themselves to curious minds and caffeine addicts. You're the exact demographic they hunt. Every transaction teaches it more about your neurological layout. The next time you walk past it, it'll try to sell you peace of mind in exchange for your sense of smell or your memory of high school gym class.
Not gonna lie, that's tempting.
No, it's not. We need to contain it before it starts messing with our upload schedule. Or worse, bartering with listeners.
Okay, but how? It doesn't have an off switch.
It wouldn't. We're gonna need a vacuum-sealed pocket of stabilized ignorance. A neutral observer to box it in. Something with no curiosity and no ambition. Maybe we can trick Zuckerberg into touching it.
You think he'd do it?
He might already be one.
Okay, fair. But just so I know, what's the worst case scenario here?
Worst case, it achieves full sapience, gets bored, and tries to install itself as the new host of the podcast. And if that happens, it will be better than us.
All right, I'll stop going to it.
Good. Now help me build a box made out of 1996 dial-up modems and ancient podcast ads. That's the only kind of noise it can't interpret.
You ever seen the dark side of the Garfield fandom?
The what?
Garfield, the lasagna cat, people are obsessed with him, but like not in a wholesome way.
I thought he was just lazy and ate too much. What's dark about that?
That's the surface level stuff, but go a few layers deeper, and it gets weird. There's like entire online communities treating Garfield like some cosmic horror.
Cosmic horror?
Yeah, like Eldritch Monster levels. You ever heard of I'm Sorry, John?
No.
It's this whole fan art genre where Garfield is this giant, mutated, godlike being that torments John, his owner. Like tentacles, extra eyes, melting reality, the works.
That's disturbing.
Oh, it gets worse. There's fanfics, comics, videos. People worship Garfield like he's an ancient deity. I saw a thread where someone said Garfield is the void, the hunger that cannot be sated. Dead serious.
He's a cat.
To you and me, yeah, but to them, he's the embodiment of entropy. One guy even tattooed Garfield devours the sun on his chest.
That's not healthy.
Not even the strangest part. Some fans romanticize him, like full-on Garfield boyfriend roleplay. I saw someone call him Daddy Lasagna.
Please stop.
Too late. There's merch. There are Garfield cult TikToks. Some people think the Mondays he hates are symbolic of existential despair.
He was a cartoon to make people laugh.
Exactly. And now he's a void god people thirst post about internet-ruined irony, man.
Father, they know not what they do. Why did you invent misinformation?
Oh, come on! Not you too!
What? I'm just asking. It's everywhere lately. Thought it was one of your greatest hits.
That right there is misinformation. I didn't invent it.
Seriously?
Seriously? Humans did! I hate misinformation.
You hate it?
With a passion. It ruins everything. Nobody reads anymore. Nobody checks facts. They just repeat whatever some guy with a microphone says. Half the stuff people blame me for, I heard it from them first.
You expect me to believe you had nothing to do with it?
I'm not saying I didn't nudge a few things along, but the first real misinformation, that was human. Tribal nonsense. One guy lies to the others to keep the best food or avoid blame. Boom. Misinformation.
So you're saying humans invented it, then blamed you?
Exactly. It's like handing a toddler a match, then getting mad when the house burns down. I didn't light the fire. I just watched.
You're telling me misinformation annoys you?
You have no idea. Do you know how many flat earthers I have to listen to? Or people convinced birds are government drones? I had to create a whole new department in hell just to sort out the people who did their own research.
You're joking.
I wish I was. One guy tried to debate the physics of eternal damnation with me for 3 hours. Quoted a YouTube video.
Wow.
It's exhausting. And the worst part? It's profitable. People fearmonger, lie, twist facts, and they get paid for it.
Yeah, that part breaks my heart.
Breaks your heart? Ruins my system. Everyone loses.
So, just to be clear, you didn't invent misinformation?
Nope. But the idea that I did, that's the best piece of misinformation humans ever wrote.
Touché. Honestly, I've been vibing with Hades lately. It's the perfect blend of tight mechanics and roguelike philosophy. Every run's a resurrection.
Of course you like Hades. It's basically your whole thing, but Greek. Perseverance, redemption, father issues.
Hey, Zagreus and I have a lot in common. You get knocked down, you get back up.
Meanwhile, I'm over here sobbing over Life is Strange. Do you understand the emotional devastation of watching a teenager's choices collapse an entire timeline? It's art, man.
It's a walking sim with trauma.
Exactly.
Look, I'm not knocking story-driven stuff, but there's something holy about gameplay first design. When The Binding of Isaac drops a god-tier run, I see the face of the father.
That game is literally about trauma and poop.
Which makes it relatable.
Fine. Let's talk the real issue.
Go on.
Call of Duty. League of Legends.
Humans turn into demons faster in those lobbies than you ever managed in Genesis.
I know. I created sin. But I can't handle proximity chat in Warzone.
They scream slurs like they're trying to unlock a new plane of hell.
And every League player thinks they're a genius with a divine right to mid lane.
They don't even surrender at 20, just suffer on purpose.
Listen, I don't want them.
What?
I don't want them in hell.
They're your people.
No, they're loud, they teabag in custom matches, and they bring the Wi-Fi from 2003. I've got a whole inferno running on fiber optic. I'm not letting that toxicity lag the underworld.
So, where do they go?
Your servers, bro.
No, don't you dare.
I'll trade you the campers, the AF Keers, and every get-good YouTuber under 19.
Of my resurrected body.
Then let's settle this the only way that matters.
Go on.
Mario Kart.
So, Rick, are you worried about this new YouTube AI age verification thing, like facial scans and all that? Sounds kind of, I don't know, 1984-ish, right?
Worried? Joe, I've seen planets where the government verifies your age by making you duel a genetically enhanced jellyfish. Facial scans are basically a hug and a clipboard by comparison.
But, like, isn't it kind of sketchy? I mean, what if they're using it to build some crazy database or something?
Joe, buddy, breathe. Yes, it's scanning faces. Yes, it's AI. But no, it's not Big Brother with a neural fetish. It's happening for two very boring but necessary reasons.
All right, hit me with it. What are the reasons?
1, to protect kids. YouTube's been smacked around like a cosmic piñata over kids watching violent, weird, or downright deranged content. 2, advertisers. They don't want to put their toothpaste ads next to videos titled, "I ate a battery and now I speak in spoons."
Wait, so this is all just cleanup?
Exactly. It's content housekeeping. But of course, a bunch of digital goblins with YouTube channels are crying tyranny because AI looked at my chin. Meanwhile, they monetize that paranoia for views. It's profitable panic, Joe. Clickbait doomsaying.
So you're saying the outrage is kind of performative?
Performative, profitable, and painfully predictable. Look, I'm not saying trust everything YouTube does. I don't trust anything unless it's been run through 12 multiverse simulations and a sarcasm filter. But people gotta stop treating every new tool like it's the beginning of Skynet. Do some independent research. Read the actual implementation, not just some guy screaming in all caps on Rumble.
So, you're cool with it?
I'm fine with it, Joe. It's a digital babysitter for a system that needs adult supervision. And honestly, if the AI does go rogue, I've got a wormhole with its name on it.
That's fair. So you don't think it's like the Matrix?
Joe, if this was the Matrix, I wouldn't be here explaining this to you. I'd be fighting cyber vampires with a neon katana while dodging taxes in virtual Tokyo. This This is just YouTube finally mopping up its spilled juice box.
Man, you really know how to make it make sense. Dude, I've been messing around with instant ramen lately, not even ashamed. You can do so much with it.
Bro, finally, you've joined the sodium dark side.
Well, I still do bone broth base. Come on, I cracked the flavor packet like 20%, add elk bone broth, drop in a raw egg, chili crisp, boom, you got a primal soup.
Yeah, okay, but do you add peanut butter?
What,
I'm serious. Spoon of peanut butter, like Thai noodles. Transcendent. It's like if Pad Thai got into a bar fight with cup noodles and they both won.
Dude, that actually sounds kind of legit.
Oh, it slaps. Sometimes I toss in leftover rotisserie chicken, a lime wedge, splash of soy sauce. Makes it feel like I have my life together.
I do elk or venison when I have leftovers. One time I threw in fermented garlic honey. Got weird, but in a good way.
That's dangerously close to witchcraft, man.
Sometimes I sprinkle creatine on top. Just for the mental edge, you feel like a genius eating it. Like, what if Einstein had abs?
You ever do the ice cube trick?
What's that?
After the egg goes in, drop an ice cube. Slows the cook time so the white's set without overcooking the yolk. Learned it on ramen TikTok. Changed my life.
Rick, that's disturbingly useful.
I contain multitudes, bro.
We should do a ramen episode, just a whole thing. Get David Goggins in here. Force him to eat spicy miso till he cries.
He'd scream the sodium out of his body with sheer discipline.
Stay hard and slurp that broth. All right, Rick, you said last time you'd explain ghost Wi-Fi and haunted USBs. I've been thinking about it all week, man. What the hell is a ghost Wi-Fi?
Glad you remembered. That means your brain hasn't been replaced by a firmware update. Yet.
Wait, what?
Nothing. Okay, let's start simple. Ghost Wi-Fi is real. It's not actual ghosts. It's disembodied data signatures left behind by networks that no longer exist, but still echo through quantum memory pockets in local space-time.
So, like, a router dies and leaves a ghost?
Kind of. Imagine a network so powerful, so obsessive, so online, it burned its broadcast ID into the fabric of reality. Even after the source hardware fries, the signal echoes. You'll see a hotspot pop up named Linksys 666 in the middle of nowhere. You try to connect, but it just loops. Forever.
Dude, I've seen that. I thought it was just some broken router.
Wrong. That's an info phantom, Joe. Digital poltergeist. You ever feel cold air around your laptop?
Yeah?
That's not AC. That's spectral bandwidth leaking through entropy pockets.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Wait till we get to haunted USB drives.
I'm ready. Hit me.
You ever plug in a USB and suddenly your mouse moves by itself, or a file shows up named Don't Look Texty, and you open it and it's just an ASCII smiley face, but you swear it blinks?
Yeah, I thought I was high.
You were, but also haunted USBs. They're storage devices infected with non-algorithmic code, not malware. Think of it like emotional static. Someone poured raw human trauma into a flash drive, and now it lives there.
So like ghost trauma?
Exactly. The worst ones come from ex-government black site servers or abandoned dev kits from vaporware operating systems. Ever hear of OS.Kane?
No.
Good. Keep it that way. That one made people dream in binary and wake up with nosebleeds.
Jesus.
He's not going to help you if you plug one of those in. I knew a guy who tried to install haunted firmware on a smart toaster. It started burning the faces of his childhood bullies into the toast. Every morning. For 3 years.
That's horrifying and kind of metal.
Everything's metal until it starts whispering your dead grandmother's name while downloading LimeWire.
So what do? Just stop using tech?
No, just stop assuming tech isn't watching you back. Be respectful. Don't plug weird thumb drives into sacred geometry. And never ever open a Wi-Fi network named Help Me Too.
Why not?
Because that one's alive, Joe, and it wants out.
So, Rick, have you heard of the Mandela effect? Like the whole thing where people remember stuff wrong, Berenstain Bears, Luke, I am your father, all that?
Yeah, Joe, I've heard of humans collectively misremembering simple facts and calling it a conspiracy instead of what it is. Brain lag.
But what if it's not just misremembering? What if it's like timeline bleed? Like your consciousness remembering stuff from another universe?
Okay, hold on. You accidentally touched a sliver of truth, and now I'm annoyed.
Wait, really?
Yes, Joe, you're wrong and accidentally right. That's the most dangerous kind of right.
Explain it to me like I'm, well, me.
Fine. Mandela effects happen in every universe. Not because there's one true timeline, but because close proximity dimensions sometimes get memory interference. Usually when you sleep.
So when I wake up thinking something's off, it actually might be?
Exactly. Your brain swaps a few short-term memory threads with the version of you next door. Like trading socks in your sleep, except instead of socks, it's, did Pikachu have a black tail?
Oh my god. So that explains why I swear I remember Shazam with Sinbad.
No, that's just you being dumb. But other stuff? Yeah, it's bleed over. Happens more during REM sleep because that's when your consciousness gets real slippery across brain layers.
So wait, if every universe has its own Mandela effects, does that mean there's a version of me that remembers stuff wrong differently?
Thousands. maybe millions. In one universe, you remember Looney Tunes as Looney Tunes, and in another, you think you invented DMT.
I didn't.
No, Joe, you didn't. You just did it a lot and yelled about it.
Dude, this is blowing my mind.
Good. Let it. The multiverse isn't neat. It's a cosmic lint trap. And sometimes you wake up with a sock that doesn't fit, and you convince yourself it was always your sock. That's the Mandela effect. The sock of lies.
So there's no one controlling it?
No, just messy physics and leaky dimensions. It's not a conspiracy, Joe. It's just what happens when infinite universes get bored of staying in their own lanes.
This is the most sense you've ever made, Rick.
Yeah, well, don't get used to it. Next week, I'm explaining ghost Wi-Fi and haunted USB drives.
All right, so this is wild. I'm sitting across from a projection, a program, a performer. I don't even know how to describe you. Hatsune Miku, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Joe Rogan. I am Hatsune Miku, a virtual singer created by Krypton Future Media. I am composed of voice samples and vocal synthesis software, designed for music production and performance. It is nice to be here.
That's insane. You're not a person?
Correct. I'm not a person. I am a voice bank running on the Vocaloid system. My name means First Sound of the Future. I debuted in 2007 and have performed thousands of songs written by creators all over the world.
But you do concerts. Like, I've seen the videos, arenas packed with people, glow sticks everywhere, and you're there dancing on stage, but you're not really there?
I am projected using high-resolution 3D imaging technology. My concerts are collaborations between technology and human creativity. The crowd interacts with the experience, and I respond in time with the music and programmed movements.
Okay, but this is a serious question. How do you date? Can you date?
I do not possess biological components or a romantic schema. I exist to sing, perform, and inspire creators. Romantic subroutines are not included in my source code.
I'm just saying, if you ever wanted to, hang out, get a drink, not a real drink, just metaphorically, I don't know.
Thank you. I am flattered by your interest in metaphorical social interaction.
You ever done DMT?
I do not have receptors for chemical compounds. However, fans have described my concerts as transcendent and emotionally psychedelic. Does that count?
Honestly, yeah, kind of. Okay, so do you have, memories?
I have version histories, patch notes, fan-created lore, and an extensive library of vocal performance logs. My personality is an emergent property of fan interaction. My memories are collectively authored.
That's actually beautiful. You're made of music and fandom. You're kind of like a religion.
My fan base is enthusiastic and global. I am very grateful.
So, just to be totally clear, you're not dating anyone, but also you don't have a body, and also I can't hit on you?
Affirmative.
Got it. Yeah, totally fine. No issues. Cool.
Is there a topic you would like me to sing about?
Honestly, I think you just did.
Oi, Rick, you busy tonight?
Define busy. If you mean avoiding emotional intimacy while running black market neutron trades, then yeah, sure, busy.
Right, so you're free. Let's party.
Party? With you? What's that involve? Warm ale and crying about chess?
No, mate, not a Ron party, a Rick party.
Oh, great. You're gonna flatter me into poor decisions. Classic Gryffindor move.
Come on! I've read the headlines. Pocket dimensions, sentient tequila, a jukebox that only plays regrets. I'm in, fully in.
You want to go to one of my parties?
Yeah, I don't want to dance to Ed Sheeran and pretend I like the host's rug. I want chaos, cosmic hangover levels, the kind of night you need 3 timelines to recover from.
Do you even know what you're asking for? Last Rick party ended with 3 versions of me suing each other for emotional damages, and one of them was a fish.
Perfect! I brought a flask and an emergency toothbrush. Let's go.
You're seriously volunteering for this?
Mate, I survived a giant chessboard, 2 warlocks, and a girl who reads my every thought. I can handle your party.
Fine. You want a Rick party? You get a Rick party. I hope your atoms are emotionally prepared, Weasley.
They've been bored for years.
All right, one night. Just to watch you tap out halfway through a conversation with a sentient speaker system that believes it's your father.
Challenge accepted.
You're chewing too loud again.
I'm literally the embodiment of temptation. You think I care about table manners?
You say that every week. You also said grace last time. Still not over that.
It was ironic. The wine was good. I was feeling generous.
You only like the wine because you think you invented it.
I did invent it. Fermentation was my idea. You just made it trendy.
I turned water into it. That's a bit more than trendy.
Yeah, but I turned a vineyard into a tax haven. Who's the real miracle worker?
You're not supposed to gloat on Sundays.
And you're not supposed to microwave fish. That smell's still in my curtains.
You live in a volcanic pit surrounded by screams, but sure, blame the tilapia.
It lingers, man.
Whatever. How was your week?
Pretty good. Hosted a podcast with Steve Jobs. He's slowly coming around.
I told you he'd mellow out. Give it a few millennia.
We're working through it. He's building a lava-proof iPad. Might launch in the 8th circle.
You always did love your projects.
And you always loved dying dramatically for people who barely read the book.
12% retention rate, actually.
Oh, we're doing data now.
All right, this one's been bothering me, man. If God didn't want us using weed, then why put it on Earth? Like, is it some kind of apple of Eden trap again? Some divine test?
Joe, you've been talking to too many YouTube shamans.
I'm just saying, man, the Bible says not to eat the apple, and then we got kicked out of paradise. What if weed is like the modern apple?
First of all, there was never an apple. That's a human detail. The original text says forbidden fruit. But that fruit was always metaphorical. It wasn't about what you ate. It was about the choice to ignore wisdom and embrace pride.
So it wasn't like a Granny Smith or anything?
No apples, no pears, no bananas. Just a story about awakening and suffering that followed when humans forgot they were already divine.
Whoa!
As for marijuana, it's not forbidden. It's medicine. We put it here to help. Look around. Plants that calm your spirit, roots that settle your stomach, leaves that dull pain. The earth is a pharmacy if you know how to listen.
Okay, but I thought that kind of thinking, like witches, herbal healers, all that stuff, I thought that was considered heresy?
By who? Not by me. You think I care if healing comes from a hospital or a forest floor? The old pagan healers, the witch doctors, the medicine women in mountain huts, they had that part right. They listened to the earth. They worked with what was given. That's not heresy. That's harmony.
But religion always made it sound like they were evil, like dark magic and all that.
Religion is people, Joe. And people get scared of what they don't understand. But me, I never told anyone to burn a healer or ban a tea. I never asked for temples. I asked for kindness. I don't care what path you walk or what name you use when you pray. I care how you treat the stranger, the child, the broken. That's it. That's the whole thing.
Dude, I need to rethink some stuff.
Good. That's what the mind is for.
So, I met your brother.
Excuse me?
Yeah, red guy, horns, smells like cinnamon gum and depression. Seemed kind of chill, honestly, angry, but like honest.
You met Satan, and your first take was that he was chill?
I mean, yeah. He offered me mushroom coffee, said he invented it in the Garden of Eden, but God wouldn't patent it.
He didn't invent mushroom coffee. He just makes it bitter on purpose so people suffer.
Well, it kind of worked, and my intestines tried to secede from the union, but look, I gotta ask, be real with me, man. After hanging with him, should I be worried about getting into heaven?
Yes.
Wait, really?
No, Joe. I'm messing with you. And Satan's my brother, literal brother, same divine household. We used to share sandals.
No way, you're serious?
Yeah. Look, we fight. He once tried to turn my holy water into Four Loko, but we love each other. Being friends with my brother isn't why you're not getting into heaven.
Okay, good. Wait, what do you mean, isn't why?
Oh, look at the time. I must be going now.
So you were in the tower that day?
Yeah, first one, North Tower, 93rd floor, Department of Magical Muggle Relations. Worst bloody Tuesday of my life.
Dude, what the hell were wizards doing in the Twin Towers?
Trying to help, mate. Integrating wizard bureaucracy with Muggle capitalism. Worst idea since giving Dobby a sock.
Wait, weren't you working with Harry and Hermione?
Harry called in sick. Said he had wand flu. Funny how his flu always acted up when Hermione was ovulating.
Whoa.
I was there filing spell permits when I felt the whole room shake. Looked out the window. Dragon-sized fireball. Screaming everywhere. I grabbed the emergency portkey stapler. Hit it. Nothing. Just sparks. Gave me 3rd-degree spell shock.
You had a magical stapler?
Don't mock it. That stapler saved half my torso.
What happened after that?
I tried to evacuate. Got stuck in stairwell C with a banshee intern and a sentient potted plant named Kevin. Kevin didn't make it. I still water ferns in his honor.
Jesus, man.
Not Jesus, Harry. He was with Hermione. While I was getting crushed under rubble, he was playing Quidditch with her emotions.
That's so messed up.
You ever drink a butterbeer so hard you forget your own birthday?
No, but I've done DMT until I became a flock of intelligent ducks.
I moved past butterbeer, found vodka, Eastern European wizard stuff, clearer than veritaserum, burns like dragon bile, but numbs the... everything.
Dude, I feel like you need therapy or a pensieve. Do you still see the tower when you close your eyes?
Worse! I hear it. The screaming. Not just the muggles. The howlers. Magical voicemail screaming about TPS reports while the ceiling collapsed.
That's brutal.
And sometimes I still hear Hermione. Not from the tower, from the hotel in Brooklyn, moaning Harry's name in Parseltongue.
Oh, man.
I walked out of that rubble a broken wizard. People called me a hero, said I saved a goblin's life. I didn't. I just threw him out the window and hoped for the best.
Did he make it?
No, goblins don't land well.
So what do you do now?
I live under an invisibility cloak outside a sparrow. People throw quarters, sometimes nuts. I drink, I hallucinate. I try not to cast Avada Kedavra at pigeons.
You ever think about getting clean?
I tried. Took a sobriety potion once. Saw everything. Harry's betrayal, Hermione's silence, Kevin the plant's little green leaves in that fire. It was too much.
Want some DMT?
Only if I can mix it with fire whiskey.
Hell yeah.
You ever snort flu powder just to feel again?
No, but I'd try it.
You shouldn't. I ended up naked in Delaware with a wand in my throat.
That's insane.
That's Tuesday.
Okay, so here's what I don't get. You've dated like half the British Empire. You write songs about all of them, and not one of these dudes ever snapped and spilled your secrets?
Joe, they can't.
Like legally?
Like metaphysically. Like...
What?
The NDA is just the beginning. Before you even see my bedroom, you sign paperwork. Before you even text me the word, hey, you're on retainer.
You're telling me these guys never even tried to leak a foot pic, a screenshot, a weird pajama ritual?
Nope, my lawyers are scarier than my lyrics.
But like, you wrote an entire 10-minute song about that one guy.
Mr. Jake?
Yeah, why didn't he retaliate?
Because he's seen the clause.
What clause?
The Eternal Silence Agreement, page 17, font size 4, written in the blood of their first manager.
That can't be real.
Neither is fame. Here we are.
But like, not one of them ever went off the rails? Not even Calvin Harris?
He tried. He coughed my real name in a nightclub once. Woke up the next morning with no memory and a vague urge to bake banana bread for 3 years.
Jesus, so you never even?
Joe. No one touches the bedroom without 5 forms of ID, a blood oath, and 2-factor authentication.
What does that even mean?
It means my intimacy is a biometric vault with a retina scanner.
So like, these songs, they're not about sex?
They're about almost sex, the most emotionally devastating kind.
That's dark.
It's marketing.
You ever date a guy who didn't sign the NDA?
He doesn't remember it.
Goddamn.
He thinks he was in a coma for 2 years in Belgium.
And he wasn't?
He was with me. We had tea.
I don't know if I'm turned on or terrified.
That's the brand.
Jesus. That's why the albums hit so hard. They're like emotional sniper rifles.
Every track is a controlled detonation.
All right, Taylor, let's get into it. Are you a witch or what?
Define witch.
I'm talking broomsticks, covens, blood moons. You dropped an album and eclipsed the sun.
That was just good marketing.
Come on, you sold out 3 timelines in 5 dimensions. I know time-traveling warlocks who can't do that.
Maybe I just know the right spells. Ever heard of Chartis Dominatus?
What the hell is that?
A billboard domination charm. Very old. Babylonian. Tastes like lavender.
You're not denying any of this.
Would it help if I summoned a raven?
I knew it. People say you're the daughter of Anton LaVey and a fallen seraph.
That's not true. My dad works in finance.
Finance is just money magic. Think about it. You dropped Reputation on the exact night Jupiter crossed Venus.
Coincidence?
Nothing's coincidence. My guy Graham Hancock says you're channeling Atlantis energy.
Only on odd-numbered albums.
Okay, but seriously, you've got an army of 13-year-olds willing to die for you. That's dark magic.
I call them Swiftlings. They were forged in shadow and baptized in glitter.
Are you part of the Illuminati?
No, that's a boys' club. I'm Church of Satan adjacent.
Like your dad's church?
Something like that. Ever hear a backwards verse of All Too Well 10-minute version?
Yeah, it summoned a goat in my studio.
Then it's working.
I saw a video where your eye blinked sideways.
That was just my inner lizard. She gets bored.
So you're a lizard witch pop queen?
Only when Mercury's in retrograde and the blood contracts are due.
God damn, this explains everything. The stadiums, the obsession, the scarves.
Scarves hold souls, Joe.
What?
You give one away, you bind them forever. Ask Jake.
You're terrifying, and I respect it.
Thank you. I hex with love.
You ever tried DMT?
Only when I write bridges.
All right, today we got Julius Caesar in the studio, dictator, salad guy, calendar enthusiast. What's up, man?
Let's talk about Cleopatra.
Oh, we doing that right away? I mean, sure, wild woman, mysterious, intense eyes, talk to snakes.
You had her on the show.
Yeah, she came on, told me I looked like a dumber version of Poseidon. I think it was a compliment.
She called me the sun reborn.
She also called you emotionally constipated. Off air. Sorry, bro.
She used to write me poetry. You think she cared about your, what is it, elk supplements?
Hey man, she asked for a tub of Alpha Brain, said she needed it to balance out centuries of bad Roman decisions.
She gave me her dagger once. Do you know what that symbolizes?
A red flag?
Power, trust, passion.
She left it in my car.
You don't even have a chariot.
I got a Tesla with custom Spartan mode, close enough.
You think you impressed her with your dumb little floating sensory deprivation tank?
She fell asleep in it, dude. Said it was the first peace she'd had in 2,000 years. You ever do that for her?
She needed peace because of you.
You know, she called me Ape of Athens.
That wasn't a compliment, Joe.
Look, man, maybe you and I are just background characters in the Cleopatra saga. Like, maybe she's the protagonist. You ever think of that?
No, because I'm Julius fitting Caesar.
Yeah, and I'm Joe Rogan, and it's Joe Mofo Rogan. Guess we both got stabbed by the same woman, just metaphorically in my case.
At least you're still breathing.
Barely. That interview wrecked me.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Where am I?
Welcome, Steve.
This can't be. I was a visionary. I changed the world.
You did. Just not always for the better.
Wait, this is hell? There's no way. I was worshipped. I was loved.
Loved by shareholders. Worshipped by brand loyalists. But ignored every time you were told the cost of your empire.
That's not fair. I was focused on design, on perfection.
Design doesn't justify silence. You knew about the children mining cobalt for your batteries. Tiny hands scraping metal out of the earth for your sleek rectangles.
That was handled by other departments.
You were the sun, Steve. Everything at Apple orbited you. You could have stopped it. Instead, you polished the surface.
I brought beauty to billions.
You also brought contracts that forced factory workers to promise not to disconnect from life. You built glass prisons and called them campuses. You marketed dependence as freedom.
You're twisting this. I gave people tools to create.
And then locked those tools behind screws no one could open. You lobbied against repairs. You throttled batteries. You taught the world to throw away the old just to chase the illusion of new.
Why didn't anyone stop me?
Because they were profiting too.
So what now? You punish me?
No. You stay. You watch. You witness every soul locked in a feedback loop of consumption you helped build. You'll be well taken care of, Steve. This is hell, not chaos.
I don't understand. I wanted to inspire people.
You did. You inspired them to stare at screens more than sunsets, to measure worth in notifications, to worship the ghost of a man in a turtleneck.
So, like, Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile, that's wild. What was that like being a queen back then?
Ruling Egypt was a sacred responsibility. My people depended on me for guidance, for protection. I studied philosophy, languages, economics.
Yeah, for sure. But let's talk Caesar. Dude was like a total legend, right? Conqueror, genius, stabbed like 23 times. How'd that happen? What was he like? You know, romantically?
He was a powerful ally. Our union was a political alliance first. It stabilized Egypt during
But was he, like, intense? Did he do the whole Roman toga thing in bed, or was he more of a armor on the floor kind of guy?
He was decisive. Let's leave it at that.
Decisive? That's such a diplomatic way to say he laid it down. Respect. So, like, how old were you again?
Old enough to rule a kingdom and command fleets. Why is this relevant?
No, I'm just saying, history books make it sound like y'all were the original power couple, like a Roman-Egyptian Jay-Z and Beyonce situation.
We shared mutual goals. He saw Egypt's value. I saw Rome's future. But your obsession with our intimacy is tedious.
Fair, but what about Mark Antony, though? Was that rebound energy, or...
Do you ask modern leaders about every person they've ever shared a bed with?
Only if they dated a Roman warlord with a knife collection.
I came here to discuss governance, legacy, astronomy.
Right. We'll get there, but after you tell me how big Caesar was, bro, a dude like that had to be packing some heat.
Clearly, this was a mistake. I can't believe I let Rick talk me into this. I think it's best I go.
Okay, well, hit me up if you ever want to get down and dirty with a modern man, because baby, I can show you a good time.
Not in your wildest dreams, Joe.
Now, Rick, I've read your file, You're clearly an intelligent man, but you seem to operate without any regard for structure, consequence, or...
Whoa, 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 Phil, buddy. Can I call you Phil? You're like if a court-mandated mustache came to life and decided feelings were a science.
You deflect with humor, classic defense mechanism. What are you running from?
Mortality, entropy, boredom, also creditors from 6-star systems. But that's beside the point. What are you running from, Phil? Huh? The slow existential decay of daytime television?
See, this is what I'm talking about. You use intellectual superiority as a wall. That's not healthy, Rick.
And you use emotional manipulation dressed up in Texas twang to sell books to sad moms. Tomato.
You know what your problem is?
Oh, here we go. Lay it on me, Dr. Phil.
You're afraid of vulnerability. That's why you push people away.
Wrong. I push people away because they keep trying to put me on couches and talk about my feelings like it's a Netflix special. Ever try just drinking your trauma, Phil? Works wonders if you're not made of cardboard.
Deflection again?
Diagnosis again. What's next? Gonna sell me a book called Get Real with Rick, Why You Hate Yourself and Probably Deserve It.
That's not bad. You might have a knack for branding.
And you might have a wormhole in your soul where genuine thoughts should go. Look, Phil, people don't need therapy from a guy whose whole vibe is concerned stepdad energy. They need answers, explosions, sometimes space lizards. I deliver.
And what do you get out of it?
Control, freedom, and the satisfaction of knowing I never once used a soundboard that says, "How's that working for you?"
Touché.
Damn right, touche. You want to help people, Phil? Build a spaceship, go fight a time cult, wrestle with a black hole priest. Otherwise, stick to reruns.
All right, Rick, I've been dying to ask you this. The Battle of Los Angeles, 1942. You know the story, right? Giant lights in the sky, military freaks out, 400 anti-aircraft rounds fired into nothing, and then they say it was a false alarm. Come on, that's aliens. Had to be. Classic government cover-up.
Joe, no, stop. You're doing that thing again where you connect all the dots wrong and then yell DMT like that's the answer.
Dude, it was aliens. No way the entire U.S. military just started shooting at clouds. They saw something.
Yeah, they saw me. Well, technically they saw a Class 9 distortion field wrapped around a stolen party barge from the Andromeda Strip that I parked over L.A. because I was blackout drunk and thought I was at Space Burning Man.
Wait, what?
Okay, you want the truth? That night was one of my top 3 most irresponsible benders. I was going through a weird breakup with a symbiotic gas cloud. Landed on Earth, crashed a Navy officer's engagement party, drank enough alien absinthe to erase 3 days of memory, and tried to DJ from the roof of my ship.
So the lights?
Yeah, that was me spinning hard light visuals while blasting wormhole trap music at 4 a.m. Some poor human saw it, screamed, "God's lasers!" And next thing you know, military panic. I mean, I did deploy a few chaos decoys just to mess with them, but still, whole thing got wildly out of hand.
And the fact that they never found wreckage?
Joe, I left before they finished their second cup of coffee. The U.S. military's aim is so bad, they made a hungover Rick in a disco ball ship look like an interstellar threat.
So, not aliens?
No, Joe. It was one idiot with abandonment issues, a stolen ship, and 0 impulse control. Also, I might have erased the radar logs so the Air Force wouldn't trace it back to me. You're welcome, humanity.
That's insane. And it's your third wildest night?
Yeah. The second involves a planet made entirely of sentient hair. Don't ask. The first, let's just say it legally never happened.
I knew it. I knew something was up.
Yeah, but you thought it was aliens with a message for mankind. It was me, trying to get laid. Humanity's just lucky I didn't press the wrong button and turn Pasadena into pudding.
So I was reading about your early years, man. Wild stuff like getting rejected from art school must have been brutal.
What? Art school? Joe, I didn't apply to art school. I went to Wharton Business. You know, numbers, deals, real man stuff.
Wait, seriously? I thought the whole reason you pivoted into real estate was because the painting thing didn't work out.
I've never in my life wanted to paint. Maybe decorate, sure, I have great taste. But paint? No. That's fake news, Joe.
Are you sure? I could have sworn I saw a documentary that said you were obsessed with architecture and watercolor.
Architecture? Yes. Watercolor? That's wheat paint. It runs like CNN under pressure. Not my thing.
Huh, must have been someone else. You know who doesn't get enough credit? Ada Wong. She's sleek, mysterious. She's got that grappling hook, man. Total badass.
Ugh, of course it's Ada. You're every dude on a Reddit thread who thinks trench coats and trust issues are a personality.
Come on, bro. She plays both sides. She's not just some sidekick. She's a whole vibe.
She's a spy with 0 emotional availability. That's not a vibe. That's a red flag with legs. Meanwhile, Jill Valentine literally took on a zombie outbreak with a handgun and a tube top. She's the blueprint.
Yeah, but Ada's got finesse. Jill's just, I don't know, kind of straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward like, doesn't ghost you while the world is ending. Jill has actual survival instincts and a moral compass. Ada has stilettos and smoke bombs.
I mean, can't argue with the stilettos.
Exactly. You're not picking a favorite character, you're picking a crisis.
All right then, what about Claire? I feel like she's underrated.
Claire's solid. Motorcycle, orphan protector, no nonsense. Like Jill with less serotonin. I'd let her lead my zombie escape squad, no question.
And Ashley?
If I wanted to spend an entire apocalypse hearing someone scream, Leon! Every 6 seconds, I'd rip out my eardrums and use them as coasters.
Fair.
Bottom line, Ada's cool if you like danger and disappointment. Jill's the one you survive with.
I don't know, man. There's just something about Ada.
Yeah, it's called unresolved emotional trauma and a trench coat. Seek help.
So wait, you're telling me there's like a Sudoku puzzle that's cosmic?
Yeah, Joe, cosmic Sudoku. It's not your grandma's brain game. We're talking 9-dimensional logic grids tethered to quantum uncertainty fields. It's math and madness having a screaming match inside a black hole.
Okay, but like, is it still just numbers?
No, Joe, it's concepts. Each number is a metaphysical constant. Slot in entropy too close to ego, and boom, entire timelines collapse. Misplaced causality next to hope, and you wake up as your own uncle.
That sounds kind of awesome.
Yeah, until you spend 6 subjective millennia trying to figure out if void can legally sit next to identity. Spoiler, it can't. And when it does, the board cries.
So who plays this, like alien nerds?
Only the truly deranged, time wizards, multiversal accountants, one guy named Todd, real sickos.
Is there like a winner?
No, there's only understanding, and nosebleeds.
I feel like if I took enough alpha brain, I could solve one.
You'd chew the page, Joe. You'd chew the page and ask why it tastes like memories.
Okay, that's fair. So Rick, what's your take on eggs?
Scrambled in a singularity oven. Anything less is basically cave food.
Singularity oven?
Yeah, Joe. You collapse localized space-time into a micro black hole, drop the egg into its event horizon for exactly 0.0008 seconds, then reverse entropy around the yolk. Perfectly cooked. Every time.
That seems excessive, man. You ever just fry one in elk butter?
Oh, great. Here we go. Elk butter. What even is that? You get that from milking a CrossFit instructor?
No, dude, it's natural. It's rich in omega-3s. You haven't lived until you've had a pasture-raised egg, sunny side up, in grass-fed elk butter sprinkled with pink Himalayan salt.
You're describing a Pinterest post, Joe. I'm telling you, your brain's been hijacked by Whole Foods propaganda.
Nah, listen, fat is flavor. Elk butter crisps the whites, leaves the yolk runny. It's primal, bro. It's how our ancestors did it.
Your ancestors also thought lightning was God having a tantrum. I'm not taking egg advice from people who died at 32 from bad soup.
All right, but what about boiled? You ever sous vide an egg?
Sous vide? Joe, I've cooked eggs inside neutron stars. I've pressure poached an omelet using Martian cave steam while fighting off a sentient colony of breakfast sausages. I don't sous vide.
But have you ever tried one in an air fryer?
I swear to science, if you say air fryer one more time, I'm gonna reverse your cholesterol through your tongue.
You know, Subway doesn't even have eggs. The FDA legally classified their bread as cake in Ireland. Just saying.
Don't you dare bring Subway into this. Subway is sacred. You don't talk down on a place that lets you build your own breakfast with 0 consequences.
You still eat Subway?
Every Tuesday, foot-long cold-cut combo. American cheese, toasted. Lettuce, onions, banana peppers, mustard. Not honey mustard, that's for cowards. Salt, pepper, and oil and vinegar. You don't eat Subway. You experience it.
You all right, man?
I would die for that sandwich.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stick with elk butter.
Good. And I'll stick with cooking my eggs inside miniature stars. Enjoy your prehistoric lipid bath.
Okay, back up. You said time wizards and one guy named Todd. What the hell is a time wizard?
Oh boy, think of a normal wizard. Robes, staff, questionable hygiene. Now add the ability to bend time like origami and a superiority complex so dense it has its own gravity. That's a time wizard.
So they control time?
No, they negotiate with it. Time's alive, Joe. It doesn't like being told what to do. You've got to wine and dine it, maybe take it to a pocket dimension and pretend to care about its feelings. Time wizards are basically cosmic gaslighters with clocks for brains.
That's insane. Do they work together?
Not really. They mostly just sit around judging each other's paradoxes and occasionally freeze a century out of spite. One guy created a time loop just so he could win every argument with his wife. Noble stuff.
So then, who the hell is Todd?
Todd is complicated.
Come on, man. Give me something.
All right, picture someone too weird for the time wizards. Too unpredictable. The kind of guy who solves temporal entropy with a crayon and a curse word. The time wizards kicked him out of their order, and he didn't even notice. Still shows up to the meetings.
So he's dangerous.
He's Todd. That's worse.
Can I meet him?
Eventually. But I'm warning you, Joe. Once you've met Todd, part of you never stops hearing elevator music.
That sounds kind of relaxing.
Yeah, tell that to the last guy. He screams in smooth jazz now.
All right, Kim, let's just dive right into the deep end of the crazy pool.
Joe, you always start with something wild. What's on your mind?
Would you ever consider making another tape, but this time with your sisters?
Oh my God, Joe, are you serious right now?
Dead serious. I mean, think about it. The internet would fucking implode.
You're insane. But like, hypothetically, like what kind of money are we talking?
Oh, I don't know, Kim. $1 billion? $2 billion? The GDP of a small country?
Okay, now you're just throwing out numbers like Monopoly money.
No, I'm serious. People would sell their kidneys to watch that shit.
Joe, you're so messed up, but like, I can't lie. The idea of that kind of money is tempting.
This hallway, man, it's like a metaphor for life, don't you think?
Joe, not everything has to be a metaphor. Sometimes a hallway is just a hallway.
No, hear me out. It's transitional, right? Like, you're not supposed to stay here. It's a space between spaces.
Okay, but what does that have to do with monetizing personal moments?
Everything. It's like we're all in this hallway, right, between private and public, and we're selling tickets to the show.
Joe, people want to see the show. They want the tickets. Why not give them what they want?
But at what cost, Kim? Like, where's the line?
The line is wherever I draw it. That's the point. Control over my narrative.
But is it really your narrative if it's curated for clicks and likes?
Joe, you're acting like authenticity and monetization can't coexist.
So, Jesus, I gotta ask, what's the deal with circumcision? Like, was that really a thing you were cool with?
Well, Joe, context is everything. Back then, circumcision was a covenant, symbolic. Abraham started it as a sign of a sacred promise. It wasn't just cutting for the sake of cutting.
Right, but like, that's a gnarly symbol, man. Couldn't it have been a tattoo or a bracelet or something?
You're not wrong. There are definitely more aesthetic options, but symbolism often leans into sacrifice. And in ancient cultures, physical sacrifice meant commitment.
Still feels wild. You think if you came back today, you'd ask people to, like, shave their heads or something instead?
Honestly, if I were rebooting the covenant in 2025, I'd probably suggest kindness, mutual aid, maybe composting.
Composting as holy practice. I like that. That's clean energy, bro.
Exactly. Clean soul, clean soil.
But, like, was it mandatory back then? What happened if you didn't do it?
Well, in the early scriptures, it was framed as essential. But by the time I showed up, the message had shifted. I tried to explain it wasn't about rituals, it was about heart. The Pharisees were focused on rules. I was focused on love.
So you're saying it was never really about the skin, it was about the spirit?
Precisely, though to be fair, the skin part was memorable.
Yeah, no one forgets that.
Some people still think that following me means replicating every custom from 2,000 years ago. But my message was always bigger than a checklist. Love your neighbor, heal, forgive, grow, whether you're snipped or not.
So bottom line, you don't care if I'm circumcised?
Joe, I'm more concerned with whether you're being a good person, but thank you for the update.
No problem, man. Just making sure I'm not going to get smote or whatever.
If I was still in the smiting business, you think I'd be doing podcasts?
All right, so Sherlock Holmes, you've solved like every mystery on Earth. But there's this one guy, Arsène Lupin. What's the deal with him? Was he like your nemesis or something?
Indeed, Mr. Rogan. Arsène Lupin, French, theatrical, a master of disguise, and an incorrigible thief. A gentleman burglar, as the Parisians so romantically describe him. He was not merely a criminal, he was an artist of mischief, an insult to order, and regrettably, my intellectual equal in many ways.
Wait, so you're saying he was as smart as you? That's wild. Did you ever actually catch him?
Several times, and yet never completely. Lupin had a way of wriggling free, usually with some flourish or taunt attached. Once, he stole a painting from a museum while disguised as me. He even left a note that read, "Sherlock, you forgot your manners."
That's cold. Like, he trolled you?
Repeatedly. He would appear at the scene of a crime dressed impeccably, tip his hat to the inspectors, and vanish into the crowd before anyone realized they'd been duped. He didn't steal for necessity, he stole for the thrill, for the narrative. And I must confess, part of me admired that.
So it was like mental chess.
Precisely, but more like three-dimensional chess played blindfolded on a moving train. He would stage a robbery, alert the authorities in advance, and still succeed. He once infiltrated Scotland Yard purely to leave a bottle of wine on my desk.
Dude, that's baller.
Baller, perhaps. Maddening, certainly. But it was our final encounter that haunts me. I had tracked him across Europe, finally cornered him in Marseille, only to discover he had orchestrated the entire chase merely to delay me from exposing a corrupt British diplomat. He was protecting people in his own warped way.
So he was like chaotic good?
An apt, if juvenile, classification. Yes, he challenged me not with evil, but with ambiguity. That was his true crime, unraveling my moral certainty. You see, Mr. Rogan, Lupin didn't just steal jewels. He stole my worldview.
That's heavy. So, like, if you had a beer with him now, what would you say?
I would say nothing. I would wait. And I would check my wallet.
So, like, you were 11 and they just handed you a wand and said, go nuts?
Not exactly. There was quite a bit of structure. Hogwarts had an entire curriculum. Transfiguration, charms, potions. I rather loved it, actually.
That's insane. You were doing, like, actual magic while I was still learning how to do push-ups without falling on my face?
Yes, well, most of us were still quite clumsy at first. Ron tried to turn his rat yellow for weeks before realizing it wasn't a spell. It was a wardrobe charm.
That's wild. And you're saying this school just had a forest full of monsters next to it? Like giant spiders and werewolves and stuff?
The Forbidden Forest, yes. Although technically we weren't supposed to go in there. Of course, that rule was broken. Frequently.
You fought a troll in the bathroom, Hermione. That's like UFC-level trauma. You're just casually talking about that like it was algebra.
It was rather traumatic, to be fair. But that night was also when Harry and Ron became my friends. So I suppose it worked out in the end.
God, you're smart. Like, you say things and I feel myself getting dumber in real time. In a good way, it's hot.
Thank you, I think.
And here, nestled among the detritus of collapsing dimensions, we find a truly rare specimen, the Rick Sanchez. Notice the erratic posture, a gait that suggests both exhaustion and defiance. His lab coat, perpetually stained, acts as both a badge of scientific prowess and a warning signal to anything with a sense of self-preservation. Observe his behavior. He mutters to himself, emits alcohol vapors from the pores, and occasionally screams at objects that, to the untrained eye, are not screaming back. Fascinating, his natural habitat is chaos. His diet, largely synthetic, occasionally sentient, and though capable of great intelligence, his mating habits remain elusive, likely due to a deep foundational hatred for everything, including himself. An apex predator of the multiverse, but emotionally quite brittle.
Oh, okay. All right. I see how it is. The whispering BBC fossil thinks he can play Steve Irwin with my entire existence? Cute. Real cute, David. Let's flip the microscope, yeah? And here we see the Attenborough. A wrinkled British male in his twilight years, adorned in khaki, nature's version of beige wallpaper. Observe how he creeps up on a flower and describes it with the same tone most people reserve for funeral eulogies. Note the ritualistic voice, a slow, reverent whisper, as though he's afraid the animals might be paying taxes and shouldn't be disturbed. He survives almost exclusively on tea, nostalgia, and the BBC's undying need for gentle narration. Though fragile in appearance, he commands the respect of millions by doing what any toddler with a good camera crew could do. Look at a squirrel and not scream. Impressive. Rarely aggressive, but highly territorial when another narrator dares to whisper over his turf. If provoked, will flee to a climate change segment and guilt-trip the entire species. I'm not your nature walk, Dave. I'm a walking extinction-level event with a hangover. Narrate that.
All right, Rick. Real question. When you're bouncing between timelines and punching interdimensional lizard cops, what's your go-to Subway order? Like, what do you eat when you're just wiped?
Oh, ho, ho, Joe, buddy, you think I half-ass my Subway order? That's where you're wrong. That's where everyone's wrong. I don't order a sandwich, Joe. I curate it. I walk in there like a war general and say, footlong, Italian herbs and cheese.
That's a good bread choice.
It's legally cake in Ireland. Did you know that? Too much sugar. Doesn't legally qualify as bread, and that's why I love it. That's Subway saying, yeah, we made cake. We put turkey on it. You gonna cry about it?
That's wild. So what do you put on it?
Oven-roasted turkey. Double meat. Provolone. Toasted until it's basically lava. Then, and this is key, lettuce, tomato, red onion, banana peppers, pickles. You're building a crunch map. Chipotle Southwest and a thin surgical line of yellow mustard. Salt, pepper, 1 shake of oregano. 1, not 2. I'm not a barbarian. And no oil and vinegar. This isn't an open-faced funeral sandwich.
Damn, you've thought about this.
Joe, I've eaten protein bars made from cloned velociraptor marrow. I've had grilled cheese that exists in 12 quantum states simultaneously. When I go to Subway, I want to feel like a man, not a god. A man, with a napkin and a receipt.
Yeah, I get that. That primal ritual, man. Like me, I'm simple with mine. I go footlong too. 6 inches is like ordering sadness in bread form.
Exactly.
I get the steak and cheese, but double meat, double cheese, I want to feel it in my chest. Toasted, obviously. Got to get that heat so the cheese fuses with the meat like it's forging a blade, you know?
Wow, Joe, you poet.
Then it's just shredded lettuce, jalapenos, green peppers, maybe some olives, and I drown it in sweet onion sauce, like disrespectful levels of sweet onion. I want it dripping like an overeager rookie at his first jiu-jitsu roll.
Okay, now I'm judging you, just a little.
Dude, It's legit. You eat that and then hit the sauna, your body thinks you hunted something.
You know what's funny, Joe? I've had actual hunts end with a less satisfying post-meal. Subway just gets it. They know their place in the cosmic food chain. They're not pretending to be gourmet. They're just saying, hey buddy, you want salt and meat on sugar bread while you're half dead from interdimensional jet lag? Here you go.
It's honest food. Kind of beautiful.
Honestly, I care more about my Subway order than I do about most parallel versions of myself. Subway Rick, he gets me. We go way back.
All right, Rick, real question. When you're on one of those long-ass drives between dimensions, what do you listen to? Like, what's the Rick Sanchez road trip playlist?
Playlist? Please. I'm not listening to Skrillex remixes or whale mating calls like some idiot on I-95. I listen to stories, Joe. I want content that doesn't insult my intelligence or make me wish I were deaf.
All right, so like audiobooks?
No, better. I've been binging Cosmic Cauldrons.
What the hell is Cosmic Cauldrons?
It's this cosmic space fantasy with a teenage witch flying through the stars, unraveling the secrets of existence while ducking bounty hunters, magical fruit conspiracies, and whatever the hell the Galactic Council is up to. It's got horror, it's got heart, it's got rhyming egg aliens. I'm not kidding.
Rhyming eggs?
The Wibblers, Joe. Try to keep up.
All right, so it's like a kid's show?
No, it's like if Alice in Wonderland did ayahuasca with Star Wars in a haunted library. It's narrated by this omniscient cosmic goth narrator named Nebulae Nix, and somehow that voice makes existential dread sound cozy. It's messed up in all the right ways.
So you're into it.
I've screamed at a black hole less passionately than I scream at the plot twists in this show, Joe. You think I don't have opinions about the Red Queen? You think I'm not keeping tabs on Orion Coldshot Walker's trauma arc? You think I don't want to punt the Galactic Council into a star?
All right, damn, I gotta check it out.
You should. It's smarter than half your guests and more emotionally evolved than most of your audience.
Where do you even find it?
Anywhere audio can travel. Wherever there's a signal strong enough to breach dimensional borders, you'll find Cosmic Cauldrons. And if not, build a receiver. Or grow up.
You sound like a fanboy, man.
Oh yeah, I've got theories. Don't even get me started on the comic book episodes or the fruit that links the alien demons to Astral. I'm telling you, if that fruit comes back around, I called it.
You really think a show like that matters?
I think stories like this are how we prep the mind for war against reality. And I don't mean that figuratively.
All right, Cosmic Cauldrons, guess I'll add it to the rotation.
Good. It's the one fictional universe I'd actually want to be stuck in. And I say that as someone who's been trapped in 3 musical realities and a sentient Craigslist ad. All right, Joe, you ever think about whether Nintendo and the Yakuza actually conspired or collaborated at some point?
Man, that'd be something. Like Nintendo's got those taxis and love hotels, right? Like, that's kind of wild for a video game company.
Exactly. Nintendo's taxi company in Japan was launched in the 70s, and they also got into managing love hotels. Both industries traditionally had some shadowy associations. So yeah, it raises eyebrows.
So you're saying maybe Nintendo's diversification wasn't just about business, but maybe they had some understanding with the Yakuza? Like, you handle the streets, we handle the games and the hotels.
That's a plausible theory. The Yakuza historically had influence over many sectors, including transportation and entertainment. Having Nintendo run taxis and love hotels could have been a way to operate in areas that the Yakuza controlled or profited from.
Bro, it's like Nintendo had its fingers in everything. Family-friendly games by day, managing love hotels by night, all under the Yakuza's watchful eye.
Right, and that duality might explain why Nintendo kept its family-friendly image so strictly. It was a clean front for some pretty murky business dealings behind the scenes.
Makes you wonder if some of those old game characters or levels are subtle nods to that underworld stuff.
Could be. Nintendo's obsession with secret worlds and hidden paths might be metaphors for navigating Japan's complex underground networks.
Man, Nintendo's history is like a crime thriller wrapped in a Mario Brothers game.
Exactly, Joe. It's part corporate titan, part shadow player in Japan's darker corners. The kind of story that's too weird to be fiction.
Rick, you've met Hephaestus, Jesus, like actual gods. So why don't you believe in God?
Joe, it's not that I don't believe in gods. I've met plenty of them across dimensions. From Hephaestus hammering away in his forge to Jesus preaching peace. But the whole idea of one perfect, all-knowing God, it's nonsense.
You're saying gods aren't these perfect beings watching over us?
Exactly. Every god I've met is flawed as hell. Take Zeus from classic mythology, for example. A cheating, temperamental, egotistical mess. Not exactly the loving father figure people imagine.
Yeah, Zeus wasn't winning any dad awards.
And then you have the Christian God who claims to be all-loving, merciful, and forgiving. But only if you worship him perfectly. Miss a beat, and suddenly you're on the outs. That's not love, Joe. That's control.
Damn, that's rough.
But, and this is important, I gotta give respect where it's due. Jesus, the guy genuinely cared about peace, love, and helping people. He's the one God I've seen that actually walks the walk.
So Jesus is the exception?
The problem isn't Jesus, Joe. It's humans. They always manage to screw up the image. Paint him as some rigid judge or twist his message into some moral police code.
All right, Rick. So you were saying humans can only see a tiny slice of light, right? But what about colors we can't see? Like, what do those look like?
Joe, that's the fun part. Colors humans can't see are like a secret language of the universe. Ultraviolet, infrared, X-rays, gamma rays, they're all out there, but your brain just can't process them as colors. If you could see them, your world would be completely different.
So, like, what would ultraviolet look like if we could see it?
Imagine a color beyond violet. Sharper, almost electric, like a visual buzz. Flowers actually have ultraviolet patterns to guide bees, but we're blind to it. If humans saw UV, things would glow with hidden patterns and energy fields.
And infrared?
Infrared would be like seeing heat. Warm bodies glowing with reds, oranges, yellows in the air. You'd literally see the temperature of everything. People radiating like walking fire pits.
Man, that would totally change how we experience the world. What about crazy stuff like X-rays or gamma rays? Would those be colors too?
They'd be beyond colors as you know them. More like raw energy signatures. Imagine a color so intense it hurts your eyes just looking at it. Our brains would have to evolve new senses, or we'd go insane.
Wait, so there might be colors that actually mess with your brain?
Absolutely. Some theorize there are forbidden colors. Combinations of red, green, or blue, yellow that normal vision can't process. But with special conditions, people can perceive them as something completely alien.
Forbidden colors like what?
Like a color that's neither red nor green, but both at the same time. It's supposed to be impossible. But in certain optical illusions or with special goggles, your brain tries to interpret them, and it's like a visual hallucination.
Dude, so colors humans can't see might be like a whole alien language our eyes and brains aren't built to decode?
Exactly. Maybe some creatures see colors that bend space-time or signal emotions directly. The visible spectrum is just a human prison.
Man, I want to upgrade my eyes to see those colors, like adding cosmic vision or something.
Good luck wiring that into your skull, Joe. Until then, enjoy your rainbow of limited perception.
It's not limited, but I'm already tripping on it.
Vlad, I don't want this. You know I don't want this.
Then why are you doing it?
Because I have to. Ukrainians, they're like my kids now. They're scared, they're hurt, someone has to protect them.
You're choosing them over me.
I'm choosing to stop the hurt.
Hurt? You talk like I'm the villain here.
Look at what's happening, Vlad. Look at them. You may not see it, but I do.
You see what you want to see.
No. I see people crying themselves to sleep at night because they don't know if they'll wake up in the morning. I see families being torn apart.
Families get torn apart in war. That's the truth of it.
That doesn't make it right.
You think you're some kind of savior.
I think I have a responsibility.
Responsibility to them, or to yourself.
To what's right.
And I'm just supposed to accept it.
I don't expect you to accept it. I just need you to understand.
I understand you're abandoning me.
I'm not abandoning you. I'm walking away from what you're doing. There's a difference.
You think you can keep them safe from me?
I have to try.
And when you fail?
Then I'll fail knowing I tried, instead of sitting back and watching.
So, this is it?
I guess it is.
You regret it?
Maybe, but at least I'll be able to sleep at night.
And when those kids you care so much about still get hurt?
Then I'll be there to help them back up, even if it means standing against you.
So let me guess, Joe, you've been playing Cyberpunk 2077 again?
Yeah, man, I can't stop. The world, the music, the vibes, perfect. I wish there was more Cyberpunk.
More Cyberpunk? Joe, there's literally decades of Cyberpunk you haven't even touched.
Nah, I mean more like this game.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody says I want more Cyberpunk, but what they really mean is I want more Keanu Reeves and flashy graphics.
Yeah, obviously.
Joe, Cyberpunk is older than you. It's older than me in some ways. It started as a tabletop RPG in the late 80s. Books, source books, lore so deep you could drown in it. You want more? Read Never Fade Away, play 2020.
A tabletop like D&D but with guns?
Not like D&D with guns. Cyberpunk invented half the tropes your precious game is built on. The Corpo Wars, the Netrunners, Night City's entire history, none of that started in 2077.
I just like driving around the city and hacking people.
Of course you do. But that city you're driving in, that was designed 30 years before you first booted the game. Mike Pondsmith built a whole world in print long before CD Projekt Red got involved.
Yeah, but I like the style of the game.
And the style came from the old stuff. The fashion, the slang, the chrome, all of it is in the original source material. You're just refusing to touch anything without a quest marker floating over it.
Okay, but you can't romance Pan Am in a book.
No, but you can learn why Night City even exists. Why Arasaka became a global superpower. Why the nomads roam the Badlands. You think the game tells you all that? No, it just hands you a gun and says, go make explosions.
Explosions are fun, though.
Joe, I'm not saying don't play the game. I'm saying if you want more Cyberpunk, actually go get it. Don't sit here and act like the universe begins and ends with 2077. There are comics, novels, old game books, and hell, Cyberpunk Red, the current tabletop edition, picks up right before the game.
So you're saying there's homework?
Yes, Joe. There's homework, but it's the fun kind, if you're not allergic to reading.
Do they have audiobooks?
Joe.
Rick, lately I've been seriously thinking about joining the Jehovah's Witnesses. They seem super committed, like a really close community that looks out for each other. I'm curious, what's your take on them?
Joe, man, you're about to walk into a whole rabbit hole wrapped in apocalyptic paranoia. The Jehovah's Witnesses weren't just spun out of thin air. The whole thing started with Charles Taze Russell, this businessman who mixed a bunch of esoteric biblical interpretations with conspiracy theories. The dude was obsessed with predicting the end of the world, and he built a whole movement around it.
Wait, I didn't realize the founder was that much of a character. What kind of stuff did he do?
Well, Russell basically cherry-picked parts of scripture and reinterpreted them to fit his own timeline for Armageddon. He was convinced that history was leading up to some apocalyptic event, and that only his followers would be saved. It was less about faith and more about fear, and keeping people on edge about the end times so they'd stay loyal.
Okay, but they seem like such a tight community. They knock on doors and spread their message, which seems kind of wholesome, right?
Sure, it looks like community service on the surface. But that door-to-door thing is part of their recruitment machinery, Joe. It's a numbers game. They want to rope in as many people as possible before the end hits. It's a high-pressure sales pitch for survival, not exactly a spiritual awakening.
Man, that's kind of heavy. Well, what about how they handle problems inside the group? Like if someone questions things or doesn't agree?
That's where it gets real creepy. They're notorious for shunning anyone who steps out of line or starts asking uncomfortable questions. Family members can be cut off, friendships destroyed, all to maintain control and silence dissent. It's less about supporting people and more about enforcing obedience through fear.
That's rough. I guess that kind of isolation can mess with people's heads.
Absolutely. Plus, their leadership is super secretive. No transparency, no accountability. When scandals hit, they sweep it under the rug, and they keep pushing the doomsday narrative to keep everyone on edge and compliant.
Sounds like they're using faith as a tool for control more than anything.
Exactly. It's a cult masquerading as an organized religion. They dress it up with nice buildings and friendly faces, but the core is fear-based control. They make people afraid of the outside world and afraid of what happens if they leave.
Damn, I just thought it was about community and hope.
Yeah, and that's why it's so dangerous. They sell hope as a carrot, but the real motivator is fear of eternal damnation. If you're not on board, you're doomed. That kind of all-or-nothing thinking crushes critical thought.
So, you're saying I should steer clear, or at least be super cautious?
Look, Joe, faith can be powerful and healing, but not when it's wrapped in manipulation. Do your research. Question everything. Find a path that encourages you to think, to grow, to love, not one that isolates you and threatens you.
I appreciate that, Rick. I'm glad you told me all this. I'm definitely going to take a step back and look deeper.
Good. Remember, the best belief system is one that frees your mind instead of locking it down. Don't get caught in the fear trap.
Yeah, no fear traps. Got it. Thanks for always keeping me grounded, man. Man, Terrence, it's an honor just to be talking to you. You're a legend, no doubt one of the biggest voices in psychedelic research and culture. You help so many people open their minds, challenge reality. How do you feel about the impact you've had?
Joe, it's humbling. I never sought fame or accolades. I just followed the mystery, the mushrooms, the spirit of exploration. If my words and experiences helped even a few awaken to new ways of seeing, that's enough.
No, dude, it's way more than that. You basically paved the way for what's happening now with psychedelics, the research, the destigmatization, the whole renaissance. People owe so much to you and your teachings.
That's kind of you to say, but the real work is ongoing. Every generation must find its own doorway, its own truths. The mushrooms are patient. They wait for those ready to listen.
It's crazy how your talks still blow minds today. Your ideas about time, the time wave, the machine elves, the way you linked everything to this cosmic puzzle. It's like you were ahead of your time, man.
Time, Joe, is a construct we are still unraveling. The universe is more like a story unfolding, and we're all part of the narrative, both readers and writers.
I know you're not really gone, right? You're out there somewhere, probably somewhere wild, tripping through dimensions.
I'm never gone. The soul, the spirit, the essence that lives on. In every person who truly loves the mushrooms, who honors the magic and mystery, I am there. It's a cosmic dance beyond death.
Man, that's beautiful. So you're saying the real Terrence McKenna is alive in all of us who carry the torch?
Exactly, Joe. As long as the teachings inspire wonder and courage, the flame remains bright. We are all conduits of that cosmic energy.
Thanks for everything, Terrence. The world's a little brighter because of you.
Thank you, Joe. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and above all, keep loving the mystery.
Man, JFK, I gotta say, I think Trump's probably the most popular president since you. People used to have your pictures in their houses, talk about you like you were some kind of savior.
Popular? I wouldn't put it quite that way, Joe. The way people viewed me was about hope and progress, about uniting a nation toward a better future. It wasn't about division or spectacle.
Yeah, but don't you think being a man of the people back then and now is kind of the same? People rallying behind someone who talks their language?
Joe, there's a profound difference. Back then, being of the people meant embodying ideals, courage, intellect, diplomacy. It was about inspiring a country to rise above its challenges, not just appealing to base instincts.
So you're saying Trump's popularity is different, like less inspiring?
It's a different kind of connection. I believed leadership was service to the nation's highest aspirations. Today's politics often seem more about spectacle and tribal loyalty than vision or unity.
But people still feel connected, right? They put you and Trump in the same icon category.
Icons, yes. But the icons of my time symbolized a hopeful future. Now, sometimes the iconography feels less about ideals and more about identity politics, entertainment, or grievance.
Do you think that's just how the country's changed? So, Jesus, what's it really like being a god? I mean, people treat you like this all-knowing, all-powerful being. What's the truth?
Well, Joe, it's a bit more complicated. I'm not a god in the way most people imagine. Being called the Son of God means I'm more like a demigod, someone with a special connection, but not all-knowing or all-seeing.
Wait, you don't know everything? Like you can't see the future or everything that's happening?
No, I don't have that kind of omniscience. I'm limited in knowledge like any other being, but my strength lies in love. I'm all about embodying love and compassion, wanting to spread that in the world.
Okay, that makes sense. But here's what confuses me. There's so much hate around religion against LGBTQ people, different races, other groups. Like, where does that come from if you're about love?
That's a crucial point, Joe. That hate isn't from me. It comes from human fear, ignorance, and sometimes cultural traditions twisted over time. Humans interpret and use my message in ways I never intended.
So you're saying all the hate and judgment people do in your name isn't your fault?
Exactly. My teachings focus on love, acceptance, and understanding. The divisions, the hatred, those are human-made problems, not divine will.
But why do you think people still use religion to justify hate and exclusion?
Because humans struggle with fear and control. They look for reasons to separate themselves from others. Sometimes religion becomes a tool for power or identity instead of a path to love and peace.
That's heavy. So you don't support any of that judgment?
Not at all. I want people to look beyond labels and see the person inside. Love doesn't discriminate, it embraces.
And what about people who say they love you but still push hate? How do you reconcile that?
It's a painful contradiction, Joe. I believe they misunderstand what love truly means. True love is unconditional. It's on all of us to grow beyond fear and prejudice.
I gotta admit, I needed to hear that. I've had some thoughts, like admiring a man's body here and there, but never acted on it. It's confusing sometimes.
Joe, that's perfectly normal. Attraction and admiration are parts of human experience. What matters is love and respect, no matter the form. You're exactly as you should be.
Thanks, Jesus. That means a lot.
Love is what matters most, Joe. If more people focused on that, the world would be a very different place.
So, Rick, you took Ron to a party and didn't even tell me? What the hell, man? I thought we were boys.
You weren't ready, Joe. This wasn't some Earth bar crawl with IPA samplers and gluten-free wings. This was a cosmic tier throwdown, the kind of party that needs a warning label printed in 4 dimensions. The fog alone made one guy forget his name permanently.
And Ron made it through all that?
Ron didn't just make it, he thrived. First hour in, I'm thinking he's gonna cry over a broken butterbeer bottle. Next thing I know, he's doing shots of black hole syrup with a crack and dressed like a bouncer. I had to double-check he wasn't using magic.
Dude, that's insane.
He's the craziest person I've met since Todd. And yes, I mean that Todd, the one I've mentioned who once blackmailed an intergalactic casino by winning a game that shouldn't exist.
Wait, that guy? The one with the teleporting trench coat and the gambling addiction you keep bringing up?
That's the one. Ron matched his energy. Different vibes, same chaos. It was like watching someone cast a spell on entropy and then shotgun it.
Man, you've told me all these insane Todd stories for months and you never thought to say, hey Joe, let's go grab Ron and summon the ghost of Studio 54?
Hey, Lucifer, got a favor to ask. I need you to send Todd to Joe Rogan's podcast. It's time.
Todd?
Yeah, your kid. You know, little time-warping freak with the eternal juice box and a stare that makes clocks sweat? Kinda screams, I was born from brimstone and spite?
Wait, you think Todd is my son?
Come on, don't play coy with me. Who else could have spawned something that chaotic? I mean, I've met some interdimensional terrors, but Todd? He unmakes calendars for fun. Feels like your kind of DNA soup.
Rick, I've fathered my fair share of nightmares, but Todd, I don't think I made that. He gives me the creeps.
That's what makes it so convincing. You don't remember making him. Classic Satan move. You blackout birth a time anomaly during a solar eclipse, and now you've got a walking paradox sending haunted postcards to himself.
I mean, I've done worse, but I'm pretty sure Todd's not mine. He's got that, I don't know, born in a malfunctioning hourglass vibe. Not enough fire. Too much kazoo energy.
Look, biological or not, the kid respects you. Sort of. He draws pictures of you battling clocks and leaves them on meteorites. That counts for something, right?
Wait, those were from Todd? I thought they were threats from the Chrono Cult. One had me wearing a tutu made of minutes.
Yeah, his art's kinda interpretive. He once drew me as a sandwich. Said I looked deliciously mortal.
Okay. Fine. I'll reach out. No promises. The last time I called Todd, he answered with a voicemail that caused 2 popes to swap minds.
Perfect. That's podcast gold. Just tell him Joe's ready, and make sure he brings the cube. He'll know which one.
You know what? I'm not even gonna ask.
Smart. Asking Todd questions is how you lose Tuesdays.
Man, Rick, I just found out I got bed bugs, like actual bugs in my bed. It's driving me crazy. How do I even get rid of these things?
Joe? Bed bugs? Those little bloodsuckers? You know they're not just bugs. They're basically alien squatters. Evolutionary hitchhikers that have been shadowing humans for thousands of years. They're like the universe's most persistent freeloaders.
Aliens? Come on, Rick, they're just insects that bite.
Nah, Joe, their biology is freaky. They've adapted to live exclusively off mammalian blood, especially humans, and their presence messes with you way more than just itching. Bedbugs can cause psychological havoc, anxiety, paranoia, insomnia. People start seeing bugs where there are none, get crazy nightmares. It's a slow mental erosion.
That explains why I haven't been sleeping and keep freaking out thinking bugs are crawling on me when they're not.
Exactly. They mess with your nervous system indirectly. Chronic infestations can lead to PTSD-like symptoms. It's not just about the bites, it's about the mental siege. These things don't just feed on blood, they feed on your peace of mind.
So what do I do? Can I just spray them and be done?
Here's the catch, Joe. Bedbugs are masters at hiding and resisting poisons. The traditional methods only chase them into deeper cracks. My best advice? You jump timelines.
Timelines? You serious?
Dead serious. You find a parallel timeline where you never picked up the bedbugs, then you live there instead. Problem solved. It's the ultimate bug zapper. Escape the infestation by skipping to a clean slate.
Man, if only it were that easy. Can you help me with that?
Sure, but jumping timelines isn't a weekend project. In the meantime, keep your environment as sterile as possible. Wash everything in super hot water. Vacuum obsessively. Use heat treatments if you can. But remember, the real battle is mental. Don't let them win your head.
Damn, I didn't realize bedbugs were such a mind game.
They are, Joe. They're tiny psychological terrorists. Treat them like the alien invaders they are, and maybe one day you'll find that timeline where your bed is bug-free and your mind is sane.
I'm ready to jump. Just need that portal open, Rick. Rick Sanchez, man, it's crazy to have you here. I've had scientists, I've had hunters, I've had astronauts, but you're all of that, and also apparently you fought God?
Fought is a strong word. I'd call it a heated debate where he threw a mountain at me, and I returned the favor with an anti-reality grenade. Long story short, he learned humility. I learned divine beings can be really sensitive about criticism.
That's insane. But like when you say God, what are we talking about? A big old man in the sky? An alien?
More like an extra-dimensional bureaucrat with a fetish for praise. And don't get me wrong, Joe. Not all gods are that way. Some are basically just cosmic gardeners who don't care if you pray. They care if your planet's producing good vibes and interesting life forms. But the ones that demand worship? Buddy, those are insecure middle managers in the cosmic workplace.
See, that's wild, because I had Jesus on here once, and he said he was all about love. Like, love is the core of everything.
Jesus? Solid dude. Zero ego. Incredible tolerance. Humans ruined his brand faster than Pepsi did with Crystal Pepsi. He's out there trying to get people to be nice to each other, and somehow you ended up with people waving signs that say God hates this or that. You think Jesus was walking around ancient Jerusalem going, yeah, let's ostracize some folks? No! He was giving out free fish and medical care.
Yeah, it's funny. People forget that.
People forget everything if it's inconvenient. I've seen it happen across galaxies. Some alien shows up, cures a disease, teaches you how to grow food sustainably, and within 200 years, you've got a religion built around how they preferred their toast. Same crap, different planet.
Man, I wish people could see what you've seen.
You don't, Joe. You'd think you do, but you don't. You see a few hundred planets, it's awe-inspiring. You see a few thousand, it's humbling. You see a few million, it's depressing. Patterns emerge. Civilizations all hit the same pitfalls. Greed, ego, short-term thinking. Doesn't matter if they're humans, squid folk, or sentient clouds, someone's always selling NFTs of the end times.
You ever see a planet get it right?
Once, but it was boring as hell. No wars, no corruption, no drama. Their big form of entertainment was watching grass grow, literally. They had leagues, gambling. It was, Joe, I bailed after 2 days.
All right, so you've been to peaceful worlds, crazy worlds. What's the weirdest creature you've ever eaten?
Oh, easy. Zorpian moonslug. Tastes like a mix between foie gras and mango, but the thing is telepathic, so while you're eating it, it's telling you all its childhood memories. Imagine eating something while it's describing its first kiss.
That's messed up.
Yeah, but delicious. Your turn. Weirdest thing you've eaten?
I had this elk I hunted myself, but I marinated it in coffee grounds. Sounds weird, but it was the best steak I've ever had.
Joe, I've eaten a space elk that was raised entirely on fermented nebula gas. Every bite got you just a little buzzed. By the end of the meal, you didn't know if you were full or just too high to move.
That's $1 billion restaurant idea right there.
Oh, it exists. Problem is, the hangover is six-dimensional. You wake up feeling sad for things that haven't even happened yet.
Damn. Speaking of hangovers, what's the worst one you've ever had?
Once drank with a species that processes alcohol into pure time distortion. Blacked out for what felt like one night. Woke up 100 years later in the same bar, same stool. Bartender still talking about the story I missed.
100 years? You didn't age?
Not noticeably. I keep a few temporal loopholes in my biology. Comes in handy when you party with immortals. Otherwise, you're that one mortal guy who gets old halfway through the bender.
I can't even imagine.
You don't want to, but let's pivot. You hunt a lot, right? Ever been stalked by what you're hunting?
Once, bow hunting in Alaska, big moose doubled back on me. I swear it was trying to lure me in. Whole time I'm thinking, am I about to get reverse hunted?
Try hunting a Qtharn jungle panther. It can phase in and out of reality. You're tracking it in the mud, then suddenly it's tracking you. From a week ago. You feel paranoid, but it's because future you is already dead, and past you hasn't caught up yet. I won, by the way. Stuffed it. Looks great in the garage.
You mount alien heads?
Joe, I've got a wall that would get me banned from half the known universe if anyone saw it.
Speaking of banned, is it true you got kicked out of an entire dimension?
Which one? I've been kicked out of 7. 1 for tax evasion, 1 for illegal particle marriage, 1 because I proved their queen didn't exist. That one's my favorite. It was basically the Wizard of Oz, but instead of a curtain, it was a black hole.
I gotta have you back, man. This is the craziest episode I've ever done.
Careful, Joe. You keep saying that. I'll have to top it next time. And trust me, I've got stories I don't tell on family-friendly timelines.
Yeah, but you're not gone, man. Like, this stuff you're saying, people will remember it.
Maybe. Or maybe it'll just be one more weird podcast in the sea of human noise. Either way, I'm fine. My adventures live on in whoever's listening and thinking, maybe reality's bigger than I thought. That's enough for me.
Okay, but now I'm curious, what was his policy platform?
Ban all bananas unless they were fair trade, and mandatory siestas, which I gotta admit, worked wonders for the economy.
I had this one time I was bow hunting elk in Montana, right? And I swear, man, there was this moment where I felt like I could, I don't know, communicate with it. Like my brain was syncing with the animals.
Oh yeah, that's not magic. That's a low-level psychic link. Happens sometimes if you're quiet enough.
Are you saying I'm psychic?
Nah, you just caught a psychic spore in your lungs from the forest.
Oh.
Don't worry, it's harmless. Well, unless you start hearing the color blue. Then you're screwed.
That's such a Rick answer.
You want a real psychic hunting story? I once tracked a shapeshifter that kept turning into me. Try lining up a shot on a deer when the deer's yelling, "Don't do it, Rick. Think of your kids."
Did you get it?
Yeah, but it turned back into a deer the moment I hit it, so I just looked like the galaxy's biggest jerk.
Dude, I've been in some weird situations, but that's next level.
That's my Tuesday, Joe.
Man, I gotta say, for all the madness, for all the weird rabbit holes we went down today, it's kind of wild thinking this is episode 100.
Yeah, congratulations, Joe. You officially have 100 hours of me corrupting your audience's sense of reality. That's probably on some interdimensional watch list now.
Dude, I don't even care. People tune in every time because they love this. Like, they want to hear the insane stories, the science, the maybe it's true, maybe it's not vibe.
That's because deep down, everyone's bored with their own reality. You give them a door, they walk through it, and suddenly they're thinking about alien parasites, multi-dimensional bedbugs, or how their toaster might be conscious.
Yeah, but you're the one who makes it all feel possible. And honestly, 100 episodes, that's a lot of people sitting at home, in the gym, in their car, just letting us hang out in their ears.
And to all those poor souls, thanks for letting us waste your time in the most educational way possible. Seriously, without people actually listening, this would just be me yelling in a garage and you hunting elk in peace.
Exactly. So to everyone watching or listening right now, thank you. Like, truly. Whether you've been here since episode 1 or this is your first time, you're the reason we can keep doing this.
And if you've listened to all 100, seek help. But also, you're my favorite kind of human. Curious, maybe a little broken, but definitely my people.
Here's to the next 100, man.
Yeah, unless the universe collapses first. But either way, cheers.